Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto becomes the second Yellow Flash Sasuke bashing. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by M.C.A and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. Returning and Secrets. Naruto stood on the fourth Hokage's head as he looks at the ruined village before him. The war was over, but the damage was done. The only two villages left were Suna and Konoha. But their village was far from recovering. Ninjas were now either part of Konoha or Suna or running around as missing nin. Loyalties were now in question for everyone. Azama Naruto, the legendary Yellow Flash of Konoha and the Wind Master of Konoha, was Konoha's greatest hero, but last remaining member of the original Konoha 11 and Rookie 9. He killed Sasuke after Sasuke swore to kill him after he killed Itachi. But Sasuke never again gained more power. Naruto grew and became so powerful Sasuke sought out Akatsuki for help against Naruto. But Akatsuki was in trouble with Naruto. He seemed to be a plague. He kept killing their members off. First he killed Kakuzu then Deidara. He had some trouble with Tobi, but he finally killed him for good as well. Kisame was another challenge, but a Futon Rasengan took care of Kisame. Itachi soon found himself on the defense instead of the offense like he was used to. Itachi, who never been force on the defense, was soon defeated and killed. Sasuke's elite squad was a reason to be feared. They tricked so many civilians in thinking they were gods, but were really using them like meat. Akatsuki was defeated, Oda was defeated, and Sasuke was laid dead at Naruto's feet. But the price was too great. It cost everyone their lives. Naruto soon went into a mediate position and soon found himself in a place he hasn't seen in 10 years, since he was 15, so he is 25 for all of you who don't know. Kyuubi sealed caged. So, you've decided to come to me. After a decade of ignoring me you finally decide to come before me. What do you want? Naruto said nothing but glared. Kyuubi got fed up and soon released all the killer intent she could throw at the blonde shinobi, but he was unfazed by amount of killer intent. Speak human before I send you away. She growls. Naruto looked into her eyes as if mocking her. Before she could speak he spoke for the first time in 3 years. You once said you could fix everything. How? He asks eyeing the great beast. Kyuubi looks struck. Although she should have expected this coming. You don't want to know the answer to that question. I wouldn't have come here if didn't. He replied calmly. Very well, but first you must free me of this damn prison. And why should I do that? Ever heard an eye for an eye? No, it means you do something for me and I'll do something for you. And what are you going to do for me? Impatient and unthankful. You mortals disgust me. Tell me what it is or I won't do it. The time jutsu we demons use from time to time. This is highly forbidden. Kami-sama has forbidden us any use of the time travel jutsu, but in this case I can allow it for my freedom. You asked me once what is worth freedom. Now you know. Now rip off the seal and you will be sent back. How far back? Why does it matter? I need to know so I can start my plan. The farthest I could do is 19 years. But I can give you a choice in the matter. Send me back as the day after I became a genin, I can start my planning then. Better yet, after I meet Konohamaru. Very well, do it and know this, we will be permanently separated. So in order for you to see me again, you must come to my lair. Naruto nodded and made the seal on the cage to burst into flames. Everything then went dark for Naruto. He felt his body spinning, his head felt like it was going to explode. He wanted the pain, oh the pain, to stop and kill him. He wanted to scream and before he knew it, it stops. Naruto was in a soft bed. He hadn't been in a soft bed since he was a 15. The war was so great he slept in trees and in bushes most of the time. But he felt so weak. Damn it Kyuubi, you could have warned me about this. Do I still have my old strength left? No Kuzo. Will more training for me. It's perhaps better this way. Naruto got up and looked at himself. He was fresh genin and ready for action. He knew he could do a C rank right now, maybe a B, but he first needed to become strong and regain his reputation. Naruto looked at the calendar and saw he had 5 days to train. He decided to focus on chakra control today. The Sandaime watched Naruto train in chakra control. He was surprised to see the boy train so hard. What could be so wrong? Why is Naruto training so hard? The Sandaime knew he couldn't get the answer from Naruto, so he decided to have someone just keep an eye on them. 4 days later. Naruto had went into a store and paid for a new getup instead of his original orange outfit. He hated orange. Luckily, his new outfit almost looks like an Anbu member. Black pants with a cameo green shirt. He bought a body armor vest similar to the Anbu. But the person who sold it to Naruto tried to take all his money. Naruto walked in the classroom and couldn't believe he was seeing the Rookie 9 together again. He walked over and sat down next to Sasuke. Sasuke glared at him, but Naruto ignored it. Shikamaru was shocked to see Naruto. Wondering what was going on and what was with the new getup, he approached Naruto. "Oh, Naruto. What's with the getup? And didn't you fail? Look at my forehead, genius. And second, I'm a shinobi so I should dress like one." Naruto snorted. Shikamaru just noticed the forehead protector. He walked away muttering about troublesome blondes. At that moment Ino and Sakura burst through the door, both panting and declaring themselves the winner. Shikamaru muttered troublesome women and Naruto agreed with him. Sakura was the first to notice Sasuke and she rushed over to sit next to him. Only to find Naruto sitting in her sit. "Move, Baka, I want to sit next to Sasuke-kun," she shouted. "Hold up, forehead girl, I get to sit next to Sasuke-kun. I got here before you did. If that's the case I should sit next to him since I was here before either of you two. Know me? I should sit next to Sasuke-kun." Naruto hated this and decided to sleep. Sasuke just glanced at the girls and rolled his eyes. "I know the perfect way to settle this," Sakura replied, smiling with her eyes closed, nodding as if she was a genius. "How?" all the girls asked the pink-hair shinobi. "Simple, we just go to do this." At that moment Sakura rushed forward and grabbed Naruto. She threw him at the girls and sat in his seat looking at Sasuke with puppy dog eyes. Naruto was rubbing his head muttering about unfair pink whores and wanting to kill them. Hinata watched as Sakura grabbed Naruto and threw him at the other girls. She half wanted to rush over to him and pick him up. Oh, she was dreaming of tending his wound, telling her I love you. Oh, she could picture it now. Naruto got up and sat down next to Sakura. Sakura didn't even notice Naruto sat down next to her and half of the class expected her to beat him up. But she didn't, she was too busy staring at Sasuke and thinking about how cool he was. The remaining girls walked away muttering about killing Sakura in her sleep. The Hokage, however, was surprised. He half expected Naruto to jump on Sakura the moment she came in. Instead he ignores both her and the Uchiha. Something wasn't right. Naruto wasn't loud, he wasn't goofing off. And most of all, he was calm, collective, and what's worse, this is the first time the Sandaime has seen the child thinking. The Jounin all asked what was wrong, but the Sandaime told them not to worry, but gave Kurenai, the only female there, a look. Iruka walked in holding a piece of paper in his hand. He soon started his last lecture he would ever give to the class. He soon started to announce the teams. Team 7, Uzumaki Naruto, Haruno Sakura, I'm stuck with Naruto. Greet these two again. Sasuke, you better stay in Konoha or I'll kill you. And Uchiha Sasuke. Sakura gave a cheer hearing this. He made his Hyuga Hinata, Inuzuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino. Hinata looked disappointed and Kiba grinned. Shino did nothing but push his glasses up. Team 9, skipping, Team 10 is Yamanaka Ino, Nara Shikamaru and Akimichi Choji. Ino cried out about having the laziest and fattest teammates. Warning, everyone run, Choji is on a murder rampage from Ino's remark. Shikamaru was smirking at Ino for not getting her way. Your Jounin senseis will be here after lunch. Take care and make sure you're back here by 1 p.m. The Sandaime was worried, Naruto wasn't shouting or complaining about his teammates. In fact he seemed unsurprised by his team announcement. Kakashi, I hope you're up for a challenge, Team 7 is going under your wing. The white-hair shinobi known as Kakashi nodded. Naruto decided to ask Hinata out for some dango. Hey Hinata, want to get some dango and sweets? Naruto asked the shy girl. Everyone who was in the room fell over hearing Naruto's words. Even Sakura seemed shocked. Hinata was blushing like crazy. She swore she could be turning into a sour grape. She was unable to say anything. He's asking me out. He's asking me out. Don't faint, don't faint. I must say yes, oh my god, I'm going to faint. Why would he know, has he finally noticed me? Ah no, unable to say anything from the fear of passing out she nodded. Naruto smiled with that foxy smile and walked out with Hinata who looked really shocked. The Sandaime and the Jounins all fell over hearing Naruto's words. They expect him to ask Sakura out like he used to do. Iruka for once was lost for words. Hold on, normally you ask me out Baka. Why did you ask her out? Sakura screamed. Naruto turned to look at the pink hair. You want me to ask you out? He asked coldly. No, I'm just saying. If you don't want me to ask you out then pipe it and stare at your precious Uchiha all day. Looks at Sasuke and see him jump out the window. Never mind, go find your precious Uchiha. Naruto replied before dragging Hinata with him. Everyone was shocked by his words. When did he start to notice Hinata and reject Sakura? Last week he was all over her. Now he seems to be all over Hinata. Hinata felt like she was in heaven. Naruto had taken her to eat and they had an enjoyable time. Naruto was asking her about her team and what she would be learning. She didn't know. Naruto soon lectured her about having a dream. If she had a dream then she had a goal to obtain. Through that goal she must have an objective in learning. She guessed she wanted to learn better Hyuga techniques. Naruto nodded until he asked for what purpose. Hinata was confused. Naruto seemed pretty interested in her dreams. She told him to create a better Hyuga clan. Naruto promised her to aid her. "Ah no, Naruto-kun. How do you plan to help me? I can't do anything really unless I was Hokage. However, I can make you become stronger." "How?" "Every herd of chakra elements." Hinata shook her head. "No, everyone has a chakra element. There are 5 of them in total. They are named after the 5 great shinobi countries. Fire, water, earth, wind and lighting. I'm a wind element type so I'm excellent against lighting types, long to mid-range. Scouting, and I'm very dangerous at close range. I'm weak against fire. Also against ninjutsu. Wind elements aren't really great against ninjutsu. I'm pretty sure you're a water element. So you're excellent against fire, but weak against earth types. This would also mean you have a great defense, perhaps second best against a earth type. If you learn healing jutsu you would learn faster and become much stronger than others around you. You're great against ninjutsu, close range and mid-range. Long range would also be a weakness." Hinata was gaping at Naruto like a fish. She wasn't the only one, Kakashi and Kurenai who were listening also were gaping at the blonde. Where did he obtain such knowledge? "Ah no, Naruto-kun, why would I be weak against earth types?" Hinata asked in a small voice. "Each element has its strength and weakness over another element. Like I said, wind elements can crush a lighting type. Lighting can destroy earth types just like earth elements and stop water types. Water elements take down fire types and fire types become stronger against wind types. You got it so far." Hinata nodded. Kakashi and Kurenai were panicking. The blonde knew then how come he was a genin. This knowledge was given to jounins before they began elemental trainings. "We have some time, want to get the basics of your training?" Naruto asked her. She nodded but a question came to her mind. "Naruto-kun, how do we know I'm a water element?" Naruto sighed he expected this he came prepared. He reaches his pouch and pulled out some white papers. Kakashi's and Kurenai's eye widened what they saw. Those weren't exploding notes. Those were chakra manipulators. "Channel your chakra through one of these. If it gets wet it means you're a water type." Hinata did so and was surprised to see it suddenly get wet. "Water?" Naruto replied. Hinata nodded, dumbstruck. "Hinata, I can only help you manipulate chakra element, but my idea was creating the first every element style Jaiuken." Hinata was shocked. A new style. This was shocking. "Let's go Hinata, we should begin your training." Hinata nodded shocked to see she was getting training by the boy she loved. "Hinata, I would teach you the shadow clone jutsu, but I don't think you're strong enough to handle it." "You can perform shadow clones?" Hinata asked shocked. Naruto nodded. "It's because I have a lot of chakra and stamina." Hinata couldn't believe it, he was so strong. "Then at the academy?" "At the academy I couldn't perform a basic bunshin was because my chakra restores were too high. Plus the academy doesn't teach chakra control. So I had to learn a much more advanced version. The shadow clone. Naruto forms the seal and a shadow clone appears, which I might add is solely it and not an illusion, so you Byakugan." "My Byakugan wouldn't tell the difference." Hinata replied. Then she remembers something. "How do you know I have the Byakugan?" she asked. "I thought all Hyugas had Byakugans." "We do. So let's begin." Hinata nodded but couldn't help but feel he was hiding something. "Hinata, the jutsu I'm going to teach you is Mizu Bunshin." "Water clones?" "Correct, the sad part is they only carry only 1/10 of the user's strength. The good news, if you can manipulate water well enough you can call them forth whenever you want. Became really good like the Nindame Hokage, you can call them without any source of water." Kakashi eyes widen. So that's how the Nindame Hokage did that. He was a water master. First notice the water right there. Focus on the water, then form these seals: boar, bird, rabbit, ram. If you do it correctly then you can call them forth. Remember, you must image yourself and concentrate on the water. Hinata nodded and began the water clone jutsu. She was having trouble. After an hour she could only get the water halfway up before it collapsed. Naruto watched her without saying a word. Hinata was determined to prove her love and ability to her one and only love. She forms the seals and tried hard to keep the water from collapsing. But she fell over and the water went back to the small river. Naruto sighs. She wasted a lot of chakra, even more than he expected. She was too tired now and couldn't perform another water clone. Still he was impressed. In his last life, it took her 3 weeks to master that jutsu. "Hinata, that's enough, we should get back." Hinata nodded before collapsing. "She wasted more than I thought. Her stamina isn't strong enough to handle it." Naruto picked her up and gave her a free piggyback ride back to the academy. He hoped he could be the first one there so no one would yell at him. He jumps from roof to roof trying to avoid the villagers. And some shinobis. He felt 2 chakra signatures behind him and knew he was still being tailed. Naruto jumped down the roof and quickly hedged into a civilian. Kakashi and Kurenai lean on the ledge looking for Naruto, only to see he disappeared. They hung their heads and left. Meanwhile Naruto was running towards the academy with Hinata on his back. That shadow clone really did the trick. Tricking Kakashi like that, thinking he hedged into a civilian and quickly ran to the closest alleyway. If Kakashi was still following the shadow clone, then he would be disappointed. The clone just disappeared and Naruto was laughing what he just learned. Kakashi was running for his dear life while Kurenai was too busy laughing her ass off. He should have paid attention to Naruto, but Naruto quickly used his sexy no jutsu with a towel, wrap him and walk into girl's bathhouse. And Kakashi walked straight in. Now Kakashi was getting chased by angry women who were calling him a pervert for walking in on them like that. Oh, the shock on Kakashi was too much for the clone as it disappeared for laughing so hard. Kakashi decided to hide his book and protect it with his dear life. But his own was at risk from that angry mob of women chasing him in their towels. Kurenai was on the Hokage's tower laughing at the poor fool. She hadn't laughed so hard in years. This was going to be funny, she had to tell Anko and Asuma. She decided to stay back knowing the women wouldn't stop until Kakashi was beat to a pulp. But Kakashi would most likely get away. Naruto just told Hinata what happened and she was shocked to hear what Naruto told her. She had to admit it was funny and something that Jounin wouldn't forget soon. Everyone heard Hinata and Naruto laughing and couldn't believe what they heard or saw. Hinata and Naruto looked like they were enjoying each other's company. Iruka and Sasuke were the only ones to notice Hinata look really pale and exhausted. But she seemed happy. Soon the teachers appeared, the first was Kurenai who walked in gracefully. Next was Asuma who took his team without a word. But he slipped Kurenai a note while he thought no one was looking. Naruto and Hinata spotted it and started giggling about it. Soon everyone was gone, but Kurenai didn't take her team away. Instead she leaned against the wall with her eyes closed. Naruto sensed Kakashi approaching and pulled out an eraser from his pocket and put it up between the door frames. Kakashi opened it and let it hit his head. Kurenai sighs and mutters baka. Whoever did this sure is stupid. Kakashi replied. Actually, you are hentai. Naruto shouted as he made a ram seal and the eraser exploded with chalk and honey all over. Kakashi looked like he wanted to murder Naruto. In fact he was holding a kunai and trying to swing it at him while Kurenai was holding his vest. Naruto sighs and expected this. So he reaches for his pocket and pulled out Icha Tactics. Kakashi's eyes open wide as Naruto hold the book in front of him. Naruto tossed it to him and Kakashi caught it. Kurenai had a disgusting look on her face at the sight of her book. Kakashi opens the book and water squirted in his face. Poor Kakashi, it was death for Naruto and the look on his face said it all. Kurenai was holding Kakashi in a full Nelson and trying hard not to laugh. Hinata was giggling and smiling. Sakura looked confused and shocked. Naruto outwitted a Jounin. Sasuke however thought nothing of it. Kiba was on the ground laughing so hard it was nearly impossible to see if he having a heart attack. Shino, well Shino is Shino, but he had a small smile on his face. After an hour of Kurenai trying to calm down Kakashi and Kakashi swearing he will bring death to his students, Kurenai turned to Team 7 and Team 8. Alright, as you can see, there are 2 teams and 2 instructors. The Hokage has decided to try something new. We will be doing joint missions and training together from now on. Nani, this was not part of my plan. Let's head to the roof and talk. Kurenai replied as she and Kakashi disappeared in a puff of smoke. The 2 teams walked up and sat on the small steps where the 2 senseis were leaning against. Kurenai was looking at Kakashi and Kakashi while he was holding a kunai in his hands and was hoping Naruto would appear alone. Sadly it was Naruto who leading the group and Hinata was close to him. This caused a huge upset for Kakashi. Okay, since we are here let's do introductions. Kurenai said in a bored tone. You made us wait for 2 hours then drag us up to the roofs to do introductions. What the hell? Kiba yelled. Hey, take it easy. Kakashi replied. Sure, after you move a little closer to the left. Naruto replied smirking. Kakashi spotted a bucket and he quickly jumps back. In doing so he trips over a wire and falls on Kurenai. Akashi, get off me now. She growls. Kakashi just realized the position they were in and his head was in her chest. He quickly got away waving his hands like they were on fire. Kiba roared with laughter and Hinata looked at Naruto with an I will kill you look. Sakura couldn't believe she had a pervert as a sensei. Sasuke started to have doubts about his Jounin instructor. Shino couldn't believe what he was seeing. He thought Jounins were elites and the best. Well, at least his father is. Okay, this is so not my day. Kakashi muttered. Okay, I'll go first. I'm Yuhi Kurenai, I just became a Jounin so teammate you're my first squad. My likes, well I have likes, but none of it is really your business. She blushes slightly, I dislike perverts and hope to find the person reasonable for writing some horrible books. She replies glancing at Kakashi. I'm Hada Kakashi, I have many likes and dislikes hobbies I never really thought of a dream. Everyone stared at him. So, what the hell are we supposed to do? Kiba yelled. It's simple, state your name and your likes, dislikes, hobbies and dreams you have. Naruto replied. Since Blonde gets the picture, why doesn't he go first? Cyclops freak. Naruto muttered. Kakashi only eyebrow, twitches dangerously. I'm Uzumaki Naruto, I like training, seals, and beating up on the Oji-sen Hokage. I dislike perverts, a certain snake man, and I intend to kill someone who happens to be the snake man. My hobbies are shogi, training, seals, and my dream is to become the greatest Hokage. I also have a second dream. Naruto stops and turns red while giggling slightly. Everyone wondered what his dream was but more curious about the snake man. Only Kurenai and Kakashi had the same thoughts. He can't possibly be talking about Orochimaru. I'm Hyuga Hinata, I like making medicine cream, I dislike how certain things are run, and my hobbies are my dream is Hinata broke off blushing. I'm Haruno Sakura, I like my hobbies are, glances at Sasuke and squeals, my dream is, giggles, my dislikes are Naruto. I'm Inzuka Kiba, I like dogs and training. I dislike cats, I hate cats. My hobbies are training with Akamaru, and my dream is to defeat my sister and lead my clan. Aburam Shino. Everyone waited before they realized that was all he was going to say. Uchiha Sasuke, I have a lot I don't like and very little that I like. I don't like to use the word dream, but an ambition to resurrect my clan and kill a certain man. Thought so? Both Jounins thought. Okay, now that we all know each other, let's all get together tomorrow for a special mission the 8 of us will be enjoying together. Kakashi said. What kind of mission, senseis? Kiba asked. It took a while, but Kurenai gave them a sadist look with an evil grin that made them sweat, and Kakashi was chuckling very darkly. Well, if we told you, all of you are going to flip. What is it then? Kiba yelled and Akamaru barking at the Jounins. Survival training. Kurenai replied. Survival training? You've got to be joking. Kiba yelled with a smirk. We've done enough survival training at the academy. How do you think we became genins? Sakura yelled. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. This is not normal survival training. Kurenai snaps. This shut everyone up. Naruto almost forgot how scary she can be when she was a Jounin instructor. Then what kind is it? Sakura asks. Kakashi starts laughing while Kurenai was trying hard not to laugh herself. Well, here is where you're going to flip. Out of the original 27 graduates, only 9 will become genins. Kakashi replied. Meaning your chances of failing is 66.6%. Kurenai finishes. There was a moment of silence. Nani? Sakura and Kiba yelled together. Akamaru was barking angrily about unfairness. Hinata nearly fainted. Shino raised an eyebrow and muttered, that's the catch. Sasuke looked pissed and Naruto was busy setting up another prank. Be ready at 7 o'clock sharp at training grounds 3. Oh, don't eat breakfast, you might puke if you do. Kakashi replied. Oh well, Hinata-chan, mind if I walk you home? Naruto asks poignantly. Hinata nods her head, unable to believe she spent most of her time today with Naruto and she was going to have a test together with him. Oh, one more thing. Naruto replies as he was near the edge. He pulls a kunai and cuts a hidden ninja string. Buckets flew up and fish hit both Kakashi and Kurenai. Naruto. They screamed, which was heard all over Konoha. Naruto was laughing his head while he and Hinata were running towards the Hyuga compound with both Kurenai and Kakashi on their tail. The remaining genins shook their heads and went home. Kurenai did not like the smell. She hated it, fish. She hates fish. She never could handle seafood. Kakashi was the same. He hated seafood. Mostly because he puked inside his mask a few years ago. Tomorrow was going to be very interesting. Chapter 2. The result of survival. Hyuga compound. Hinata laid awake in bed thinking about the sudden change in Naruto. It was a weird sudden change. He didn't yell or complain about anything. She knew he would yell and complain about being with Sasuke. Unable to sleep and stop getting worried about Naruto-kun, she got up to go see him. She didn't see him in his apartment, so she headed to his next place, the ramen stand. But when she got there, the AM said he hasn't been here today. She soon realizes something wasn't right. She headed towards his favorite quiet spot, the 4th Hokage's head. But he wasn't there. She thought something was extremely wrong. She went to a hidden waterfall she knew he visited a lot and felt someone there already. Quickly activating her Byakugan, she notices 3 chakra signatures. The first she noticed was Naruto was shaking and sweating and seemed really worn out. Focusing on the other 2, she saw it was Kurenai and Kakashi watching and trying to stay out of sight of Naruto. Naruto himself was panting. Goddamn, it's been so long since he used a wind jutsu. Now he was using them without making a seal, which was so hard now that he wasn't at full strength. Now he was training so hard the 3rd Hokage was worried. Not only that, Kabuto was going to pay dearly. Hinata was shocked at what she saw. Naruto seemed to be in the air floating, then gave a kick in midair that cut 3 trees down. She wasn't the only one, Kakashi and Kurenai were shocked at what they saw. The third Hokage was just as shocked. In fact, he never has seen such a move since the fourth. That's just how did you Naruto? Naruto was breathing harder than the time he was forced to sack Odo's capital. He remembers that war only too well. So many shinobis lost their lives. Just to defeat 2 major threats. Naruto stopped his training and looked around. There was a third presence. He knew it all too well. He was shocked to feel her presence. He keeps forgetting he is in the past. He never forgave Karen. Flashback. Hinata struck Karen in the heart, but she quickly dodged the blow and stabbed Hinata with a katana that belonged to Sai. Naruto goes in rage and quickly gives her a Futon Rasengan to her chest. The blast was so powerful that she was unable to prepare herself for it. Naruto tried to stop the bleeding, but she was done. She smiled and wiped his tears just before she died in his arms. Naruto cried and cried. Soon all hopes of returning Sasuke was over, he only wanted to kill him now. Flashback ends. What are you doing here Hinata? Naruto replies not looking at her. Hinata was shocked to hear her name and that he knew she was there. Kakashi and Kurenai were also shocked to see Hinata and surprised for not sensing her. Oh no I was just. You really shouldn't stutter. People might not understand you. Then again, you do sound cute when you do. Hinata was turning red. He thinks I'm cute when I stutter. Why aren't you resting for tomorrow's test? Hinata said nothing but stare and dream into space. I forgot she dreams a lot when I say something to her. Oh no why are you out here Naruto-kun? Training. Shouldn't you rest for tomorrow's test before you train? She replied for the first time without stuttering. I'm not worried about tomorrow's test. Either way I'll become a shinobi. How do you know? I believe in myself and my teammates. Hinata was shocked. He believes in me. Go to sleep Hinata, the eagles won't follow I'm sure. Kakashi and Kurenai eyes open wide. They disappeared before Naruto could point them out. Naruto grew a smirk. If Sasuke leaves us, then I'll create my own Anbu force that had the same power as it did during the war. Naruto disappeared before she could follow him. She wanted to ask him more. But knew she wouldn't get any answers. Not tonight. He seemed to love her and want to stay with her, but he felt pain and loneliness at the same time. She knew, she could see it in his eyes. Naruto-kun, what secret are you hiding that makes you want to run away? Kakashi and Kurenai stood in front of the third. So Naruto is much stronger than he appears. Hi Hokage-sama, he is much stronger and wiser than what his academy records say he is. He also knows his weakness. Kurenai replied. Well he is very strong, he might be able to give me a run with all that elemental training his is doing. I'm surprised someone young as he can do so well with the elements. So am I Hokage-sama. The shortest anyone has mastered elemental training was 25 years old and it takes months even years to master it. Not even Itachi could do that. Kakashi replied. Keep an eye on him. Continue your mission. Hi. They replied disappearing in a puff of smoke. The third went to bed thinking about the sudden change in Naruto. 7 o'clock training grounds 3. The 6 genins to be walk in with their heads down. Morning Sakura replied. Morning. Kiba said with a yawn. Morning Naruto-kun. Hinata replied. Naruto just nodded. Hinata looks like she got a lot of sleep. Shino and Sasuke said nothing. So the two teams waited and waited for their senseis. 2 hours they waited before Kurenai appeared. Morning. She replied. You're late. Sakura and Kiba yelled. I must be getting Kakashi's habit. By the way, where is Kakashi? She asks. At that moment there was a puff of smoke and Kakashi appeared. Aw, it's Ronald McDonald. Sakura screamed. Indeed, Kakashi was dressed with white makeup yellow and red baggy cloths with a red afro and shoes too big for him. Naruto, get this off of me now. It took a while then every besides Shino and Sasuke started to roar with laughter. Naruto smirked and ducked behind Hinata. Kakashi was pissed. He looked like a fool. After 30 minutes of Kakashi and his outfit the Jounins were ready to begin their test. Okay both of us have 2 bells. Kakashi replied holding his 2 bells up as Kurenai hold up hers. Now we each hold 3 lunch boxes. One is for us and the other 2 is for the people who managed to get a bell from us. At that moment everyone's stomach growled. That's why he told us not to eat. Kakashi and Kurenai look at Naruto who was grinning sheepishly. Sorry, but I always eat no matter what people tell me. Kakashi looked down unable to believe he ate. Kurenai looked at him in surprise. Okay now then, 2 students will most likely fail. Well all of you could fail, your goal for today is to take one of the bells. You must the bells before noon or you fail. So the person who doesn't get the bell gets sent back to the academy. That's right and they will also get tied to the stumps over there. Kurenai replied nodding. Alright ready. Well this test should be easy. Naruto replied, nodding his head. Kakashi and Kurenai replied. I mean, we got a suck-ass teacher who can't even dodge or detect some basic academy traps. Naruto replied, pointing this out to everyone. Everyone nodded. Kakashi felt his reputation at stake as well as Kurenai's. The person who stands out is the one who has no talent at all. Kakashi replied. Kakashi was hoping for him to get mad enough to attack, to his surprise it worked. Naruto knew what Kakashi was trying to do, so he pulled out a kunai and leaped for an attack. Naruto saw Kakashi move, but he didn't want things to get suspicious. Calm down, I didn't say start yet. Same thing in the anime with Naruto's survival. Everyone started to back away from Kakashi, unable to believe his speed. Impossible, I didn't see him move. The speed, so this is a jounin. He is faster than Tausen. Impressive, I see. Then things are really going to be interesting. You've got to be kidding, there is no way we can match that kind of speed. Show off. Alright, start. With that, he and Kurenai disappeared. Naruto soon pulled Hinata with him as soon the test began. He knew next they had to find Shino. Naruto worked with Shino in the past and saw that he well intelligent even when he became a genin. He knew Shino would be able to figure it out. Shino stood behind a tree, slowly sending some bugs up ahead in case his teachers appeared. What shocked him most was when Hinata and Naruto landed in front of him. Naruto, Hinata, what are you doing? Keep yourself quiet. Listen, have you figured out the test? Shino, look, never mind, he doesn't show emotion. At Naruto. I always hated that expression of his. Naruto-kun, what do you mean? Think about it, you two. Why would they put us in groups of 3 then tell us we are to get sent back to the academy? Shino looked at Naruto dumbstruck. Since when was the blood so smart? Hinata looked at her crush and thought he was so amazing and full of surprises. Shino, my clone is engaging Kakashi right now. This is our chance to make a plan. Naruto replied. The test is about teamwork. Very well, Naruto, I shall assist you. But then here is the plan. Meanwhile, Naruto's clone confronted Kakashi and challenged him to a duel. Aren't you a little off? Kakashi asked, looking dumbstruck. The only thing off is your taste in haircuts. Well, it's good to see him back to his old self. The third thought. Okay, since you're the dead last, how about I do this? Lesson 1, Taijutsu. Naruto rushes forward and stops when Kakashi puts his hand up in his pouch to reveal a very bright orange book. What the hell are you doing? Naruto screams. I'm reading. Why? Because I want to know what happens next. Oh my, Kakashi replied, giggling like mad. You fucking pervert, I bet that's a porno book. Don't tell me you peek at girls when they change. Kakashi didn't know what to say, so he starts to mutter to himself. Naruto looks shocked. You pick at girls they change, you closest pervert. You judge me pretty quick for a stupid idiot. I've got to be careful, last night didn't even seem we've seen his fullest. Naruto give a punch on to have it stopped by Kakashi. Naruto landed and tried to kick Kakashi in the head, but Kakashi merely ducked. Naruto then threw a punch out in frustration. Kakashi disappeared right before his eyes. Nani, he disappeared. You should never let your enemy sneak up on you, Baka. Kakashi replied with his fingers in the seal of the tiger. That's the seal of the tiger. He is going to use ninjutsu at that range. Naruto will get killed. Naruto, get out of there, you're going to get killed. Sakura shouted. Too late, Senengarashi. Kakashi cried, poking his ass into the air. Naruto gave a cry as he was launched into the air and disappeared in a puff of smoke. Nani, what happened? How does someone just disappear? What happened? I'm sure that was Naruto, then how does someone disappear? A shadow clone, the kid's smarter than I thought. At that moment Shino and Hinata attack Kakashi, leaving him sidestepping their attacks. When Kakashi nearly pierced them with kunais, they disappeared into bugs and soon swarm around Kakashi. Naruto looked at Shino and Hinata and told them to go. Naruto, how do you know it's safe to attack right now? Shino asked. Page Bunshin no Jutsu. How does that help? It's similar to the Sharingan. Anything the shadow clone learns the user learns. Quite useful actually. It's safe, go, just remember the plan. They nodded and disappeared. Kakashi was stunned and didn't know what to do. He heard of the Aburam clan but didn't know what exactly they did. This was clearly blocking his vision and senses. Then Shino and Hinata came through the shield of bugs attacking Kakashi. Kurenai was surprised, she was hidden in the trees. She decided to even up the odds. She jumps down with a kunai in her hand. She was about to get Shino away when Naruto suddenly appeared in front of her. Naruto threw a barrage of punches at her which she was unable to block and had trouble dodging. Soon she was out of the bug's nest and into the open. Sasuke, seeing his chance, took it. A barrage of shurikens and kunais flew and nearly struck Kakashi. Kakashi was luckily and performed Kawarimi no Jutsu. He was so surprised to see Hinata and Shino stay on him. Damn, these two are good. Not only that, glances at Kurenai, Naruto is forcing her on the defense. Should have known, Taijutsu is her weakness. Kakashi sidestepped Shino's attack only for Hinata to hit some of his tenketsu in his right arm. Have I really sunk this low? No, I've underestimated them. And Naruto is far better than expected. This continued on and on. Kiba and Akamaru would appear out of nowhere and make surprise attack, throwing both Kurenai and Kakashi off guard. Sasuke wasn't fighting like the others, but he set up traps which Kakashi or Kurenai fell into. Finally the bell rang. Well, that's it, Sakura, come here for a moment. Kakashi asked kindly. Hi-sensei. Why am I tied to the tree? Sakura screamed. Inky didn't attack at all while Kiba, Hinata, Shino and Naruto managed to get a bell. Flashback. Kiba's Kitsuga, which was not yet finished, managed to cut the bells off the waist of both Jounins. Hinata was the first to notice and swept the bells to the others. Naruto, however, stopped the Jounins with a Tajukage Bunshin no Jutsu. The Jounins were shocked to see so many clones of Naruto, and the fight left the Jounins tired after all the clones were gone. Flashback ends. Everyone was looking at the blonde. His cloths were different. In fact, Kakashi would have said he looked like the fourth in his genin years. White clothing, he had on grey arm protectors and knee pads. Naruto's flashback, a lot of flashback in this. What do you know about me when you have no parents or siblings? What do you know when you've been alone from the start? Sasuke started to have flashbacks of his mother, father, himself and brother. We suffer because of our bonds. Can you understand what it's like to lose everyone? Sasuke yells off the ground before shoving Naruto off him into the canyon. It's true, I don't have parents or siblings and I don't understand how it feels. Naruto replies while he stood on the log facing Sasuke on the other log. Why, Naruto? Why do you go so far for me? Sasuke demands back. To me, this is one of my first bonds. Sasuke looks shocked to hear that, that's why I'm going to stop you. Naruto replies back. Well then, I will break those bonds. Sasuke declares, tying his Hinata on. Then why, if so, then why didn't you kill me then? Isn't that your way of breaking bonds, Sasuke? Naruto screams at Sasuke after seeing him in 2½ years. The reason is simple. Sasuke closes his eyes. It's not that I didn't cut those bonds. Sasuke's flashback. You can also activate the Manjikyu Sharingan as I did. But, there is one condition. You must kill your closest friend. Itachi told an 8-year-old Sasuke. Then Sasuke flashback. I didn't want to give him the pleasure of seeing me obtain power by following his ways. I merely spared your life on a whim. Before anyone could react, Sasuke was next to Naruto with an arm around him. When did he? Sakura gasped. Come to think of it, isn't it your dream to become Hokage? If you have time to come chase after me, you should be training. Isn't that right, Naruto? That's why this time, at my whim, you'll lose your life. Sasuke replies, pulling out his katana. And someone who can't even save one of his friends become Hokage? What do you think, Sasuke? Naruto replies back without the slightest sign of fear. Sasuke smirks and moves in for the kill. Naruto continues to look straight ahead and Sasuke was looking into Naruto's eyes. Yamato and Sai couldn't believe what they were seeing. Sasuke-kun. Sakura gasped. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto. Let's show them our power. Kyuubi declared behind her seal. She gave a deep chuckle at the boy in front of her. What's wrong? Why are you hesitating? Kyuubi demands as she showed herself with her red chakra. You need my power, right? Naruto shows no sign of fear or emotion at the Nine-Tails Kyuubi. Well, who do you want to kill? You should understand. That you can't do anything by yourself, that is. Release the seal completely. If you do, then I'll give you all my power. Kyuubi declares. Naruto says nothing but raises his hand. Kyuubi looks shocked as well as Naruto to see another hand in front of her. Why are you? Now I can see it. So this was the source of your power. Who would have thought that something like this was inside you? Sasuke replies. I see. And Uchiha, is it? Your growth is impressive. You can even see my inside, Naruto. Such would be the power of your Sharingan, that cursed clan's power. Kyuubi acknowledges. Seems this isn't the first time you've seen the Sharingan. If so, then you're Kyuubi no Yoko. Sasuke replies back. Kyuubi was silent for a moment, glaring at Sasuke in the eyes. Such sinister eyes and chakra far more evil than my own, just as Uchiha Madara was. Kyuubi replies. Sasuke's eyes showed some sign of anger before he rips Kyuubi's chakra apart. And you expect me to know that person? He replies as Naruto looks shocked to see Sasuke withstand Kyuubi. Flashback ends, every flashback ends here. So on with the story. Naruto glares at Sasuke and remember how he ignored her words and warnings. Sasuke was the second coming of Uchiha Madara. Someone who didn't have limits with their evil. Well, seeing how they got the bells and passed the true expectation of the test, you all pass. Thought so. Naruto mutters. Well then you all have the day off. Kurenai replied before both of them jump out the way from a huge green blur. Oh, no. Not them. Eternal rival, how are you this beautiful morning? Guy shouted. You said something. Kakashi replied. Oh, very hip of you, Kakashi. Guy shouted. Naruto wanted to strangle Guy and Rock Lee. But as he did another memory came to him. Flashback. Rock Lee, Guy, Hyuga Neji and Tenten all lies at the feet of Uchiha Itachi and Hoshigaki kiss him. This was their third time fighting each other. This time, Akatsuki succeed in killing Team Guy. Naruto just go there to see Itachi gave the final blow to Tenten, who somehow was still alive. Remember what I told you Naruto-kun? Itachi asked before looking at him. Naruto did and repeated Itachi's words to him when they first met. Take me, Naruto-kun, we have been ordered to take Naruto-kun alive by our organization, Akatsuki. Naruto repeat before he charges at the famed Uchiha. Flashback ends. Naruto muttered the words under his breath. Only Hinata heard him and wonder what he meant and by Akatsuki. Is this really Naruto-kun? He was never like this. What happened to him? Hey, nice sword you got there. Mind if I see it? The girl on Guy's team asks Naruto. Everyone look at Naruto to see him holding a sword in its sheath. I don't let anyone see it. Naruto replies coldly. Oh, but I can give you pointers in the art of swordsmanship. She replies. Naruto smirk, I doubt that. You got the balls to back that up? She demanded. Yay. Naruto replies standing up. Damn, my power isn't what it used to be. If I had known Team Guy was going to be here I wouldn't have trained last night. Not only that, it's my stamina that keeps me from fainting. I'm using the last of my chakra to keep myself balanced and not fall over. This guy got guts, I'll give him that. He barely has any chakra at all. Neji thought. A youthful fighter and one who shall win Tenten-chan's love. Oh, the flames of youth burn brightly. Lee thought. Tenten also noticed he was down to his last chakra. I'll go easy on you, okay? Tenten yelled, summoning a katana. Kakashi stepped forward. Naruto, I know how much you want to fight, but you can't push yourself. And Guy, I thought you would teach you student self-control. Kakashi replied, eyeing him. Tenten, run 100 laps around Konoha. What? She screams. If you talk back I'll have you run with Lee on your hands. Guy replied, holding his chin. She mutters about green freaks before running off. Kurenai also disappeared. Well, everyone can go home and rest, Hinata, Naruto a word. Kakashi replied before pulling them apart. Okage-sama wants both of you to train together. One reason is to get the shyness out of you, Hinata. He wants you to speak up more. The other reason is for Naruto not to be so loud and learn stealth. He believes both of you can teach each other. See ya. Kakashi replied before disappearing. The two look at each other and blush. When Hinata looked back at Naruto she found herself in a jinjutsu. What is this? A reality jinjutsu. Hinata, you're about to witness something you never thought possible. Naruto voice replied behind her. The world was black and white with the sky red. Ninjutsu, my Byakugan should allow me to see through it. She activated her Byakugan and saw she couldn't get it undone. She then tried the jinjutsu release. Nothing happened. This is a powerful jinjutsu Hinata, an S-class jinjutsu highly forbidden to learn. It's nearly impossible to break. You will learn more than you thought possible. Hinata felt herself being lifted and unable to close her eyes at the events that accrued. Now you know. Is this? Hi, you know why my behavior has been strange as well as my clothing style. I trust you and only you. Naruto-kun, thank you. I didn't want things like this and it didn't intend with my plan, but if this is going to work tell no one. I will train you so hard you will give your opponents a reason to fear you. Also, Naruto closes his eyes so you won't die like last time. Hinata was in fear. She had witnessed her own death. So, you're really from the… Hi, I traveled back in time to correct my own mistake. The tide may have turned, but the dice is still rolling. I must prevent it. Hinata looked down. Naruto-kun, son of the Yellow Flash, with my blood of a Hyuga Manor branch, the inner eye bond, I swear I shall protect you with my life. Hinata replied. Naruto looked surprised to hear this. He heard of this Hyuga oaths, but never heard one before. Naruto looked down and released the jinjutsu. Naruto collapsed after wasting all of his chakra and stamina on that jutsu. Hinata grabbed him and set him down. Hinata still had her arms wrapped around him fell asleep. Sometime later that night. Naruto woke up, he tried to stand but felt something heavy on his chest. Hinata. She stayed with me. He wrapped his arms around her until his eyes shot open. Shit, I nearly forgot, Hiashi isn't my friend yet and if he finds me here with his oldest daughter, both of us will get into trouble. Thank Kami for letting me keep Kyuubi's regeneration. Naruto picked Hinata up and disappeared into the trees. The Anbu who were watching were shocked to see him perform chakra control so well. Naruto sensed the Anbu behind him. They got no stealth, not until they go to war. The captain however was shocked to see him so well and nearly had all of his chakra back. Could he really be the Kyuubi? No human can get up in only 5 hours after chakra exhaustion. Sandaime-sama will have to know about this. Naruto, who has snuck into the Hyuga compound so many times in his last life, took his normal route to Hinata's room. "Hinata, what happened to you when you were 3 was not your fault. However, I promise you the Hyuga secrets will always remain safe and I will put Kumo in check." His raises her right wrist and place a seal on her vein. A single teardrop appeared with the word seal inside of it. "Your Byakugan is safe, Hinata." Naruto glanced at the door sensing someone there. He quickly jumps out the window. "Hinata, are you in there?" Hiashi asked. He opens her door and was shocked to see his daughter asleep. "Weakling," he mutters before leaving. The next morning. Hinata woke up and quickly ate breakfast. "Father, I would like some training this morning before I meet my new team." Hinata asked her father before he could respond at breakfast. She shoved down the eggs and ran out the door. "Meet you in the courtyard in 5 minutes," she shouted. Niji, who was invited to eat with them, Hanabi and Hiashi, look at the open door which Hinata bolted in shock. "It's like Ni-chan, a different person." "Interesting. Did Hanabi say something to her before breakfast?" Hiashi thought, throwing a look at Hanabi. "What?" the young 8-year-old said, realizing her father was looking at her. "I didn't say anything to her this morning, I swear," she claimed in fear. She knew better than anyone how terrible her father was. Hiashi got up and saw Hinata waiting for him. Doing strange hand strikes. What does she know? Her teacher knows she cannot learn any other taijutsu besides the Jyoikin. "Hinata, I cannot train you this morning, I have a morning session with you sister, perhaps this evening," Hiashi told his oldest daughter. Hinata looked down. Then she remembers what she saw, Naruto-kun's encouragement. Pathetic," Hinata muttered before jumping over the wall. Hiashi froze at what he heard. Did she just call him? "Did she say what I thought she said?" he asks Niji and Hanabi. Both nodded. He was shocked and decided to speak with her Jounin instructor. Jounin lounge. Kurenai closed her locker and was surprised to see Hiashi standing in the doorframe. She never saw him here before. "A moment of your time please," he asks her with a deep voice. She nods, unsure what to expect. Certainly not about Hinata, he doesn't even give a damn about her. "What did you tell Hinata yesterday?" he demands. She was surprised by this question. "Nothing, yesterday, Hokage-sama ordered Team 8 and Team 7 to do a joint team test. They both pass. Why?" she asked him with a look in her eye. "Who is on Team 7 and the rest of Hinata's squad?" he barked. Normally parents ask their children. She thought angrily. "On my squad are Inyazuka Kina and Aburam Shino." Hiashi nodded. Made sense, he was a genin with Inyazuka Tsume and Aburam Shibi. Team 7 is led by Hada Kakashi, he leads Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, and Uzumaki Naruto. He was pleased to hear Hada Kakashi, he was a great ninja and perhaps the strongest jounin in Konoha. Uchiha Sasuke made sense, that girl was no need of concern, but the Kyuubi brat might be. "Why is the Kyuubi brat a ninja?" he demanded, wanting to get answer. He thought the brat failed his test. He brought back the scroll of sealing, beat up a traitor who was a Chunin rank, and mastered the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu in 1 hour. She replied calmly. He was shocked to hear the Kyuubi brat master the shadow clone. Was he the one who did the change in Hinata? "I want Team 7 and Team 8 apart," he demands. "I'm afraid that's not the Jounin's decision but the Hokage's. You can take it up with him, but I doubt he'll remove us," she replied, leaving him. He was upset, he didn't hate the Kyuubi brat like the others but didn't trust him. That morning Kurenai went over the team over chakra control, she lectured to them about how important it was. Hinata was the first to grasp it, being in the Hyuga clan, chakra control was of huge importance. Sakura managed because she barely had any chakra. Naruto surprisingly was the next to master it. Sasuke needed help and Sakura offered at once to give advice. Kiba and Akamaru managed with some aid from Shino. "Damn, I'm the last Uchiha and I came in last," Sasuke thought in anger. He was also frustrated that he needed help. Their missions weren't so exciting either. They had just captured Tori the cat for the federal lord's wife, Naruto reacting the fastest caught it but suffered huge scratches on his face. When it was detained he asks Kakashi if he could skin the cat alive and Kiba was the first to agree. For once Akamaru also agreed with him master. On the way for the next mission Sakura and Kiba broke into an argument. Or, more like agreeing with each other. "We need better missions. I swear if I get another D rank mission I'm going to rip my hair out." Sakura shouted so loud the Hokage could hear her while they made their way up to the mission collection stand. Akamaru nearly puked taking out those garbage. "If that old man doesn't give us something better I swear he's going to meet my hands around his throat," Kiba shouted. The Hokage sweat drops hearing this. He was going to get it from a bunch of kids. They burst in and Kiba and Sakura looked like they had a fuse broken. The Hokage knew he would be in deep shit. Well, let's see here, 30 missions apiece for Team 7 and Team 8 in the past month. Average for a fresh genin. Sandame replied reading the scroll. Sasuke's eye twitches average. Now, let's try another D rank. No. Naruto shouted. This was the first time any of them heard him shout in a long time, so they all jump at his voice. No D rank missions or I'll make you drown in your own blood, old man. Naruto shouted, pointing his finger at the Hokage. The Hokage only knew too well what the harem no jutsu was capable of, having fallen for it watching it being used on poor Ibisu. Naruto, do I have to explain the missions to you? The third replied, holding up a scroll. Every day we get mission requests from people all over the world. Depending on the mission request they are separated into A, B, C, D. Depending on the shinobi's strengths they get a certain mission. For an example, your Jounin instructors are capable of handling an A rank mission by themselves or single-handling depending on the situation. The third said, looking at two Narutos who were saying something behind Kakashi's back. Listen. The third shouted. The two Narutos turned to the third as if they saw him for the first time. Finish, fine, here is my lesson. We are shinobis, not servants. Henge. The two Naruto cried. A cloud of smoke appeared and there stood Warwick. Ana no Kodenshin no Jutsu. The third Hokage never saw this technique, instantly fell backwards with a noise bleed. Kakashi also fainted. After everyone woke up, the third did not want to suffer from more blood loss again. That jutsu was dangerous. Very well, if you want a C rank so badly then I can arrange one for you. At this Iruka stood up, he also fell over with a massive nosebleed. Hokage-sama, they are fresh genins. You can't possibly be serious. Do you want to suffer from that jutsu again? He replied back. Iruka saw the point and realized it could kill him if he loses more blood. Bring him in. The third orders. The servant nodded. The door opens and in walks in a half-drunk old man. Izuna, it's been so long since I've seen him. These punks are going to guard me. I thought pay better for a shrimp and a dog. Tizuna remarks. Kiba grew vain, but Naruto jumped forward unsheathing his blade. Kakashi and Kurenai immediately took action. Kiba was getting hold in a full Nelson, while Kakashi tackled Naruto down, who was struggling to get up. Tizuna's drink was split in half by Naruto's blade. Naruto, it won't do if we kill our client. Then let me take his limb. Naruto shouted. Tizuna, back away, clearly thinking these kids were insane. I'm Tizuna, the bridge building master of Wave. Tizuna introduced himself to the two teams. We will meet in 2 hours by the gate. Move. Kakashi ordered. The genins nodded and went to their homes. Everyone came with bags full of weapons, food, and supplies. Naruto, however, only appeared with a scroll. His white cloth seemed to be covered with some light gray armor pads. On his belt were shinobi supplies and apparently a mask of some sort. As they walked down the road for an hour, a couple of puddles stood on the side of the road. Kurenai was the first to notice the Jinjutsu, then Kakashi, who realized there hasn't been rain for months. Naruto knew instantly who they were. The team walked past them without a care. When they were 5 yards away, two figures appeared out of the puddles. The first to go was Kakashi. Kurenai turned around to find a pair of gauntlet claws in her throat. Sakura screamed, this was more than she asked for. Naruto, however, reacted before anyone else could. He split their chain in half with his sword before the demon brothers knew what happened. When both stopped in their tracks, Naruto punched the short one in the face and kicked the taller one. Then Kurenai and Kakashi appeared. Naruto, you did better than expected. You handled 2 B rank missing nins. Tizuna, care to explain? Hold on, I saw you two die. Sakura explained. She looks past them to see a pile of woods and the dead Kurenai disappear. The dead Kurenai disappeared in a zigzag way. You should know we are shinobis and we can't die so easily. Kurenai replied with a disappointed look in her eye. Sakura looked surprised and shocked to see Kurenai-sensei and Kakashi-sensei alive and well. Naruto isn't at genin level. To handle the situation like that was expected from an elite Chunin or Jounin. He did not blink or hesitate in that situation. He planned it ahead and used their attack and convenience against them. What is going on? Is this really Naruto? After explaining the truth and finding out this was more dangerous, the Jounins were more than prepared to head back to Konoha. Naruto wanted to continue on, so did Kiba and Hinata. Sasuke did not want to be seen a coward. With this many genin protesting and Sakura backing up Sasuke's words, they continue onwards. Kakashi, however, felt Gato would send someone stronger this time to kill the bridge builder. Naruto, however, thoughts were somewhere else. Chapter 3. Demon of the Mist. Gato's headquarters. Zabuza sat down lazily, listened to Gato and his assistant complaining about their lack of strength. Zabuza had enough and his big blade was found, it's near Gato's throat. Who do you think I am? I'm Zabuza, Demon of the Mist. You will know your place. He growls. But the shinobi knows this is not going to be easy. They'll be more on the alert now. That doesn't matter, they are small fry to me. Zabuza replied, walking out the door. Once he kills the old man, make sure he and his comrades are dead. Gato orders to his 2 samurai bodyguards. They both nodded and walk out with him. Somewhere on the riverbed. Izuna lead the 2 teams to a boat where an old friend of his was waiting. What a thick mist, I can't see ahead. Sakura replied, stating the obvious. Meanwhile Naruto kept thinking inside his head, seeing Hinata in combat mode. Look. Did I merge her spirits together as one somehow? Tsukiyomi can't do that. But I may have done it. If her spirits somehow emerge together, then she will no doubt lose her childish self soon. Oh well, I guess I like it like that. Naruto thought after getting a pervert thought. Naruto soon shook his head. I'm not a pervert. I'm not like Kakashi-sensei or Iro-senin. We should be seeing the bridge soon. Tazuna replied. Kurenai reminded everyone to be quiet. At the base of the bridge is wave country. The boatman replied. Izuna-san, there is something I need to ask of you before we reach the shore. The identity of those after you. If you don't tell us, then our mission ends when the boat reaches the land. Kakashi asked the old bridge builder, adding the threat to the question. For a moment Tazuna was quiet and Kurenai and Kakashi keep a close eye on him. After waiting for several seconds with everyone eyes on him besides his friends, Tazuna decided to speak. Looks like I have no choice but to tell you. No, I want you to know. You're right that this is probably beyond your mission scope. It turns out a super dangerous man is after my life. Super dangerous man? Kurenai replied. Hi. Who? Kakashi asked. You've probably at least heard his name before. The wealthy shipping magnate, a man named Gato. Kurenai and Kakashi eyes pop open. Gato? Kurenai gasped. How Gato is from that Gato company? He's said to be one of the world's few extremely wealthy people. Kakashi nearly gasped. Yes, officially he runs a large shipping company, but secretly, he sells drugs and other illegal items, using ninjas and gang members to take over businesses and countries. He's a very nasty businessman. Tazuna pauses, remembering the screams and horrors from his country. It was about a year ago he set his eyes on the wave country. Through financial and violent means, he quickly took control of the country's shipping industry. Since he controls the shipping routes, which are the life of a small island country, Gato now has a monopoly on all business traffic. The only thing Gato has to fear now is the completion of the bridge. Tazuna replied, telling the 2 teams his small story. I see, since you're building the bridge, you're in the way. Sakura replied. So, those ninjas from earlier were hired by Gato? Sasuke said. Before Kiba could say anything, Kakashi spoke. But what I don't understand is if you knew shinobis could be after you, why did you hide that fact when you hired us? The wave country is super poor. Even the daimyo have no money. Tazuna answered. Of course, we don't have much money either, not enough for the expensive B rank missions or above. Well, if you quit the mission when we reach shore, I will definitely be killed before I even reach my home. But, don't worry about it, if I die, my cute 8-year-old grandson will just cry uncontrollably. Everyone's face nearly drop. And my daughter will live a sad life hating Leaf Village ninjas forever and ever. But it's not like it will be your fault or anything. Everyone look at each other down. Kakashi was using his index finger to scratch his forehead protector, while Kurenai was biting her nail off her thumb. The genins all look down. Don't worry about that old man, Kurenai-sensei and Kakashi-sensei will protect you with your life. Naruto replied before they could something. Well, we really don't have a choice. We will continue to protect you. Kakashi replied. Oh, thank a lot. Tazuna thanked them. He turned to his friend and held up a peace sign which his friend knew meant I win. Really, Tazuna-san, that was a bit extreme. But you did that to my last life the last time we did this. You won't have to worry a bit. I hope I can just protect those 2. Naruto thought as he thought about Haku and Zabuza. So they continue onwards to the shores of wave country. After a few minutes of silence the boatman spoke. We'll be there soon. Tazuna, it looks like we've avoided detection so far, but… Thanks. They soon pass under the bridge and through the mist to see a beautiful village up ahead. When they reach a small dock everyone got off. This is it for me. Goodbye. Yeah, super thanks. Be careful. Okay, now talk me home safely. Tazuna replied, giving everyone a sweat drop. Hi. Kakashi responded. If any further attack comes, it will surely be not Chunin, but Jounin level. Kakashi thought as he sighs. Unknown to the team they were being watched from a man with a giant sword. Naruto suddenly sensed a faint chakra signature. He threw a Kuani at it. Everyone looked at Naruto in shock. Naruto. Kurenai growled. Please stop using kunai. It's seriously dangerous. Kakashi told his student. Hey, shrimp. Stop acting like a moron. Tazuna shouted. Naruto said nothing but walk over to collect his kunai. As he did he saw a white rabbit, paralyzed with fear. He glares at it before collect his kuani. When Naruto came back everyone's eyes were shocked to see his kunai had blood all over it. When he dropped something in front of them they all fell over to see a snowshoe rabbit. Naruto, don't scare us like that. Sakura screamed. Punching him in the head or at least tried to as he sidestepped the attack. That's a snowshoe rabbit yet it's spring what's with its color. The snowshoe rabbit changes color according to the amount of sunlight. White is its winter color. Kakashi and Kurenai look at each other and nodded looking at their surroundings. Then, that must be a rabbit that's been kept in a cage in order to use it in a kawarimi. So they're already here. I see, the man grabs his sword, no wonder the demon brothers didn't stand a chance. The Hidden Leafs copy ninja Sharingan Kakashi and the Ice Queen of Konoha, Genjutsu Mistress Yuhi Kurenai. He jumps in the air. At that moment he jumped in the air and threw his giant sword. Everyone get down. Kakashi yelled. He and Kurenai jump in the air, while Shino tackled Tazuna to the ground, while Kiba dropped to the ground. Naruto grabbed Hinata and jumped in the bush. Sasuke quickly hit the ground, Sakura was luckily and managed to avoid getting hit. The giant blades soon landed on a tree trunk. Soon a man appeared. He had no shirt but purple pants with a white mask and a mist tiara on his head. This guy is. Kakashi walked forward. Hey. Well. If it isn't the Hidden Mist's missing nin, Momochi's Zabuza-kun, eh? Kakashi replied. Kiba rushed forward preparing to attack him when Kurenai stuck out her arm blocking him. Stay back, this guy on a whole other level. Why? Kiba yelled like an idiot. Against him, I have no choice. Kakashi replied lifting his forehead protector. Everyone look at him never seeing him with both eyes. It will be a little tough unless I do this. You appear to be Sharingan Kakashi and the Jounin with brunette hair, rosy lips and crimson eyes, Ice Queen of Kano and Genjutsu Mistress Yuhi Kureni. At the words of Sharingan Sasuke look at Kakashi more closely. Sorry, but hand over the old man. Huh, Sharingan. What's the hell is that? Kiba thought. What are they talking about? He's strong. Sakura thought. Sharingan. You guys surround and protect Azuna-san. Do not enter the fight. That's the teamwork here. Kakashi orders lifting up his forehead protector from his left eye. His eye was closed, but as he lifts it a red eye appeared with 3 komos. Fight me. He declared. What's that eye? Kiba thought. Oh, I already get to see the famous Sharingan. I'm honored. You guys keep saying Sharingan. What the hell is that? Sakura screamed. It's a Dijutsu like my own. Hinata replied. Sharingan, a power born in the eyes and released from the pupils. Some have an ability in their eyes called Dijutsu that can read all types of Genjutsu, Taijutsu and Ninjutsu and can defeat them. The Sharingan is one of the types of pupil that give you this power. But that's not the only ability the Sharingan has. Sasuke replied answering the question. Kiba looked shocked and Sakura looked amazed. But my Dijutsu is even better. It may not be able to see chakra like the Byakugan or as cool as the Sharingan, but it can see and copy any seals it sees. The Inshaogan. Or better known as Fuigan. Naruto thought with a smirk. Exactly. That's not all. What's even scarier is that you can read your opponent's techniques and copy them. Zabuza replied as the mist suddenly started to grow and get thick. When I was a member of the Hidden Mist's assassination squad, I kept a bingo book. It included information on you, and this is was it said. The man who has copied over 1,000 jutsu. Copy Ninja Kakashi. Also I got information on you Kurenai. The woman whose fury knows no limits, the mistress of the art of illusion, the one to kill 100 ninjas with one technique. Yuhi Kurenai, in Konoha you're known as the Ice Queen. In the shinobi world, you're known as Scarlet Eyes. Zabuza replied smirking. What's going on? Kakashi-sensei and Kurenai-sensei were those incredible ninjas. Sakura thought. What's going on? The Sharingan is a special physical condition that only appears in a select few members of the Uchiha clan. Could he be? Sasuke thought. Now, let's put an end to the chatter. I have to kill that old man. At those words all 6 genin surrounded Tazuna. But Kakashi, Kurenai-san, it looks like I have to beat you two first. Zabuza replied. He grabbed his sword and disappeared from the tree. Kurenai, not wasting any time, started to form seals faster than any of the genins could follow. She's forming seals way too fast. Kurenai soon disappeared. Kakashi, seeing where she went, walked over to the water's edge where Zabuza was standing on the water. Is on top of the water. Sakura gasped. He's releasing a high amount of chakra. Kakashi thought. Ninpu. Kurigakur no jutsu, Zabuza declared. He vanished. Kiba said. Naruto gripped his sword more tightly, waiting to unsheath it. Sensei. Sakura cried. He'll come after me first since Kurenai-sensei disappeared. Who is he? Kiba asked in fear. Akamaru was shaking. Momochi Zabuza, as a member of the Hidden Mist Assassination Squad, he was known as an expert in silent killing. Silent? Shino asked, unsure what he heard. He didn't like the sound of that. As the name indicates, it's the ability to kill your opponent instantly. Kakashi suddenly remembers the entire Konoha squad's Zabuza murder to get away, you don't even notice until you're already dead. It's not like I can use all aspects of the Sharingan perfectly. So you guys be careful too. Everyone froze hearing this, well, if we fail, it's only death. What? What are you saying, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura demanded. At that moment the mist started to thicken. The mist is getting thicker. Kiba stated. The wave country is surrounded by ocean, so mist is super plentiful. Tazuna explained. At that moment Kakashi disappeared into the mist, scaring the genins. Seconds became minutes. Minutes soon seemed forever, but not one genin dropped their guard in the thicket of the mist. Soon Zabuza's voice emerges in the mist. 8 choices. Liver, lungs, spine, jugular vein, carotid artery, brain, kidneys, heart. Now, which critical hit should I go after? This scared everyone. After a few more seconds Kakashi decided to clear the mist a little. Forming his hands into the seal of the ram, chakra was soon bursting out of him. Sasuke soon was shaking like mad. He hasn't shook this much since 4 years ago. What an incredibly thirst for blood. It feels like I'll be killed if I make a single move. That's how heavy the air is. Experiencing this for a while could drive a person crazy. The intensity of jounins facing each other, it feels low-key my life is being squeezed out, I can't take it. I'd almost rather die now and get it over with, Sasuke thought, moving his kunai to kill himself. Sasuke, don't worry. I'll protect you guys even if it kills me. I don't let my comrades die. Kakashi replied, turning his head with a smile to Sasuke that soon calmed him down. Well, see about that. Zabuza said, appearing in the middle of the group. It's over. Kakashi fully turned around and had his Sharingan lock on with Zabuza. Zabuza moved in for the kill and Kakashi soon sprung into action. Stabbing Zabuza in the stomach with his kunai. Soon water started leaking out of Zabuza and then he was gone. Sensei, behind you. Sakura screamed. Kakashi turned around to see Zabuza's sword heading straight for him. Die. Zabuza declared, cutting Kakashi in half. Kakashi was cut cleanly in half only to split in water. Izubunshin no jutsu, no way. In this mist he copied it. As soon as the water clone disappeared, Zabuza felt 2 kunais touching his throat. Kurenai and Kakashi appeared at each other's side, holding their kunais dangerously close to Zabuza's throat. Don't move. Kakashi ordered. It's over. Kurenai added. Zabuza smirked, they fell straight into his trap. Soon Kurenai and Kakashi noticed he was chuckling softly, then started laughing. What's the deal, why the hell is he laughing? He just got beat like a fool. Kiba yelled. It's over. You don't get it. You can't defeat me with your monkey-like imitations. No way. Zabuza started to laugh again. But that was impressive of you. By that time you had already copied my Mizubunshin no jutsu. You had your clone say those words to attract my attention, well, the real you hid in the mist and watch me. Nice plan, but you two fell straight into my trap. You see, I wanted you to kill that water clone to draw her out because I'm not that easy. Zabuza's voice appeared behind them, scaring both jounins. The water clone in front of them disappeared. The real Zabuza swung his sword at a fast speed. Both Kurenai and Kakashi barely managed to duck. The sword slams into the ground. And Zabuza quickly switched hands. As he did, he kicked Kakashi into the air and punched Kurenai. She doubled over and his foot found itself in her face, sending her flying. Kakashi-sensei. Kurenai-sensei. Sakura screamed. Now. Zabuza thought, rushing after them. He soon spotted something up ahead and stopped just in time. Makabishi. Foolish. Zabuza replied before jumping in the water. Kakashi head pop open only to see Kurenai land on top of him. He's also strong into jutsu. Sasuke replied, his eyes shaking. Kurenai and Kakashi popped up out of the water. What's with this water? It feels so heavy. Aka. Zabuza replied, the two. Suiton. Suro no jutsu. Shit. Kurenai yelled as they both felt huge amount of water surround them. Escaping to the water was a big mistake. I now have you in my inescapable special prison. It makes things tougher if you two kept moving, you know. Now Kakashi, Kurenai, we can finish things later. First I'll take care of them. Mizubunshin no jutsu. I didn't expect him to be this good. This is bad. The kids stand no chance. Wearing forehead protectors and acting like real ninjas. But you know what? A real ninja is someone who has survived numerous brushes with death. Basically, once you're good enough to be listed in my bingo book, then you can start calling yourself a ninja. Guys like you shouldn't be referred to as ninjas. Zabuza declared, using some mist to surround himself. He disappeared again. Kiba thought who was the closest. Kiba soon saw a kick but was too slow to react and got hit full in the face. His forehead protector went flying. Akamaru landed and slammed into a tree. "Akamaru!" Kiba shouted. Zabuza stepped on his forehead protector. "Just brats." "Kiba!" Sakura screamed. Everyone was shocked at his speed. Kiba was the fastest gen in there, yes even faster than Naruto, and he got defeated so easily. "You guys. Take Tazuna-san and run away. You have no chance against him. As long as he keeps us trapped in this water prison, he can't move. The water clone shouldn't be able to go very far from his real body. Just run away now." Kakashi yelled. "Run away? Don't be ridiculous. That choice disappeared the moment you two got caught. Even if we escape without you, we will sooner or later be found by Zabuza and annihilated. Even in a defensive position, guarding against his attack is impossible. In the end, there is no choice. For us to survive, we have to save you both. We have to do it." Sasuke cried. Sasuke rushed forward and Zabuza clone turned to him. Sasuke threw all his shurikens at Zabuza which he easily blocks with his sword. As he did Sasuke jump in the air who surprised Zabuza for a second. "Now?" Sasuke cries. "That's naive." Zabuza replied as he grabbed Sasuke's throat and threw him like a rag doll. "Sasuke-kun." Sakura screamed. Naruto gave Shino a note to read and Shino nodded. "Hey, you eyebrowless freak. Add this to your bingo book. The one who is going to be your name to shame is me," Naruto declared putting on his mask for the first time. "That's an Akuma Kamen." Zabuza also recognized the mask. He started to shake a little bit thinking this kid might be the most dangerous person here. "That shrimp, he's not super useless as I first thought." "Sasuke, Shino, let me your ear." "What are you talking about?" "I got a plan." "Teamwork, from you?" What's this feeling?" "This is Naruto," Sakura thought. "Now, let's get wild," Naruto declared. Zabuza got over his fear and started chuckling. "A lot of energy, but do you stand a chance?" "This is bad." "What are you doing?" "Run away. This fight was over the moment we were caught." Kurenai screamed. "Listen, our mission is to protect Tazuna-san. Did you forget that?" Kakashi yelled. All the genins look at Tazuna. "Mister?" Hinata replied clearly asking what to do. "Well, I planted this seed myself. I'm not going to say now I desire to live as much that I'd stop you. I'm sorry guys, fight as much as you want." "Did you hear that?" Sasuke replied. "Are you ready?" Naruto declared. Zabuza started laughing his head off. "You guys never grow up." Nani, Kiba yelled. Hinata was healing Akamaru. "Stay down Akamaru, you cannot fight," she whispered. Since when did Hinata know how to heal people? Sakura thought. Going to keep playing ninja, eh? When I was younger than your age, these hands were already dyed red in blood. Zabuza declared as all the genins gasped. Demon Zabuza? Kurenai gasped. Oh, so you've heard a little about it. Zabuza acknowledged. Long ago, in the Hidden Mist Village, often called Blood Mist Village, there was a final obstacle to becoming a ninja. Kakashi replied. So you also know about that? Zabuza admitted he was surprised they knew about that. You two even know about that graduation exam. That graduation exam? Sakura repeated. Zabuza clone continued to give off that dark chuckle. Hey, what's this graduation exam thing? Sakura yelled. Zabuza clone continued to chuckle before answering. Fight to the death between students. At those words everyone nearly jumped out of their skin. Friends, who have trained and eaten at the same table are pitted against each other and go at it until one of them loses their life. These are friends who had helped each other and shared dream until then. Terrible, Sakura could only say. She was scared shitless. 10 years ago, the Hidden Mist graduation exam was forced to change. This change came after the previous year when an evil appeared. Kakashi replied. Change what change? Hinata replied, she wasn't shaking like the others, but she was scared. Naruto looked at her from the corner of her eyes. Shit, I was right, her spirits are emerging. Then that must mean, he looks at Sasuke, his spirit is also emerging. Although their old power isn't joining them, their spirit is. I see, when I emerge with my past self the future spirits came with me. But they did not use the jutsu I did. So their old self won't remember a thing, and when we hit 16, our spirits will stop emerging with us. What did this evil do? Sakura asked. Without pause or hesitation, a young boy who was not even a ninja had killed over 100 of that year's students. Kurenai answered. That sure was fun. Zabuza replied looking into the sky before glaring at the brats. Zabuza disappeared and slammed Sasuke into the ground. Before Sasuke could do anything, Zabuza slammed his elbow into his gut, causing huge amount of blood to come out his mouth. Sasuke-kun. Sakura screamed. Zabuza's foot landed on his stomach and Sasuke couldn't believe he was going to die before he killed him. Sasuke gasped as the foot felt like it was going straight through. Die. Zabuza declared. "Mu, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu." Naruto shouted. Soon 30 clones appeared. "Oh, the shadow clones." "And a large amount," Zabuza replied, looking at all the clones. He was unable to believe someone his age could produce such a large amount. "Here I come." Naruto shouted. Sasuke rolled away as the clones all jumped at Zabuza. 30 kunais met a giant sword and covered the entire fight scene. No one knew if Zabuza clone was defeated or if it was stalemate. Kurenai and Kakashi was holding their breaths praying the clone was defeated. I'm not strong enough to defeat his water clone. No, I'm just as strong as the water clone." Naruto thought. Zabuza swung his sword and all the Narutos were thrown off. "It's super useless. He can't be beaten." Tazuna replied. Kakashi and Kurenai couldn't believe that didn't work. The clones were disappearing, unable to fight anymore. Naruto was digging into his bag. "Sasuke, Shino." Naruto shouted. He threw them a Fuma shuriken. "The shuriken won't work against me." Zabuza replied. Shino and Sasuke jumped into the air and threw their shurikens at Zabuza. Zabuza looked down with his eyes closed. When he opened them he expected to see it at him but was surprised to them head towards his real self. "I see, this time you're aiming for the real me." But Zabuza just noticed one of the shurikens disappeared. "I see, Kage Shuriken no Jutsu." Zabuza caught the first one and jumped over the hidden shuriken. "That's not enough, way too easy." Zabuza replied. He dodged it. The other 3 genins thought. Kakashi and Kurenai gave up hope right there. Sasuke smirk. And Shino walk away. The shuriken puff into smoke revealing Naruto with a giant shuriken in his hands. Kakashi and Kurenai were shocked to see Naruto behind Zabuza. They looked back at the genins to see the other Naruto disappear. Zabuza was also shocked. He didn't expect Trash to think so well ahead. Naruto launched his shuriken and aimed at the water clone. Only thing was, Zabuza's arm was in the way. Zabuza pulled out to avoid getting his arm ripped off. "You damn brat." Zabuza cried, spinning the Fuma shuriken really crazy. Before he could do anything, something stopped the shuriken from moving. Turning his head he saw Kakashi and Kurenai holding the shuriken. Kakashi Sharingan looked really pissed. Zabuza felt a little afraid. Sakura looked really pleased. So did Kiba. "Naruto, great plan. You guys have grown up." Kakashi replied. Naruto smiled and scratched the back of his head. "I told Shino but not Sasuke. The aim of the shadow clone wasn't to defeat Zabuza but to hide the fact I had transformed into a Fuma shuriken. As one clone remains, will I transform into the shuriken. The clone grab a real shuriken and me to Sasuke and Shino. Shino threw the real one while Sasuke threw me. Upon catching it, Sasuke should have immediately realized it was me. As Shino threw the real shuriken, Sasuke followed Shino's throw into its blind spot. We knew Zabuza would realize what we do, that's why I was there to attack him while he was in midair. Of course I didn't think that could beat him, but I thought if we could just break open that water prison plus, we beat the water clone. Total success." Naruto replied, grinning. "Oh, that was just luck." Sasuke replied. Kiba looked pissed and grew vain. "That was luck." Tazuna cried. He couldn't believe that move that would have cost him his life was based off luck. But, for these two to come up with a combined strategy like that in this situation when they've been arguing all this time. Sakura thought. "I got distracted and released the jutsu." Zabuza replied, trying to be cool. "Wrong. You didn't release it. You were forced to release it." Kakashi replied. "Kurenai, get back, I can take it from here." Kakashi replied. She nodded and grabbed Naruto and ran to shore. Zabuza grew vain from Kakashi's comment. "I'll tell you that I don't fall for the same jutsu twice. What will you do?" Kakashi replied as he and Zabuza had a stare down. Zabuza realized the threat, folded the Fuma shuriken together and pressed the blade harder on Kakashi. Kakashi, having trouble blocking it, used his strength to knock it away. Zabuza jumped away and Kakashi did the same thing. In mid-air, Zabuza formed a seal, Kakashi Sharingan spotted it and soon he copied it. "Sharingan," Sasuke said. As Zabuza landed, so did Kakashi and both started making seals at a fast pace. Ox, monkey, rabbit, rat, pig, bird, ox, horse, bird, rat, tiger, dog, tiger, snake, ox, goat, pig, goat, rat, ox, monkey, rabbit, rat, pig, bird, ox, horse, bird, rat, tiger, dog, tiger, snake, ox, goat, snake, pig, goat, rat, 9 monkey, bird, dragon, bird, ox, horse, goat, tiger, snake, rat, monkey, rabbit, pig, dragon, goat, rat, ox, monkey, bird, 9 rat, pig, 9 monkey, bird, dragon. Bird, ox, horse, goat, tiger, snake, rat, monkey, rabbit, pig, dragon, goat, rat, ox, monkey, bird, 9th rat, pig, bird. Both Zabuza and Kakashi chanted in their minds. "Suiton. Suryudan no Jutsu," both cried. The dragons collided and caused a wave which nearly took everyone with them. At many hand seals, in seconds. Plus he copied them all perfectly. Sasuke thought. What is that ninjutsu? Sakura thought hold Tazuna. From getting washed away, not in fear. So cool. He better teach us that. Kiba thought. As expected Kakashi. Kurenai thought with a smirk. Kakashi wasn't holding back. He was going all out. Soon Zabuza and Kakashi were fighting over superiority with a kunai and the giant sword. Strange, what's going on? The Sharingan can absorb and copy techniques, but why was he able to use that jutsu? Could he be? Unknown to the group, a mysterious figure stepped out from the tree branch watching the fight. Robes and light pants which stated a medical ninja but a mask of a hunter nin. Zabuza had enough and decided to break away. He jumped back away from Kakashi and Kakashi did the same. Zabuza ran around and so did Kakashi. When Zabuza stopped, he was pissed Kakashi stopped with him. Zabuza pissed set his hands in motion for the mist, only to see Kakashi to do the same. The exact same movements and the exact timing. Tazuna cried out shock. Sasuke-kun, what's going on? Sakura asked her crush. Sharingan. That's the Sharingan's true power. Kurenai replied. Eyeing the fight carefully. The genins all turned to look at her. Only another well-trained Sharingan user can defeat Kakashi, but that still won't be an easy task. She replied looking on. This fight was Kakashi, Zabuza was already defeated but just didn't know it. In my movements he completely Zabuza thought, moving his arm down as Kakashi did the same. Reading them. Kakashi finishes. Nani? Did he read my mind? He forms his hands into a triangle only for Kakashi to do the same. Kuzo. That. Freaky eye is pissing me off. Right. Kakashi interrupted Zabuza's thought. Zabuza almost lost his cool but got it right back. All you're doing is copying me. You can't beat me, you monkey piece of shit. You can't beat me, you monkey piece of shit. Same time. Damn you. I'll make it so you can never open that monkey mouth again. Zabuza cried out in his head, forming seals faster than he could follow. He stopped short after seeing an image of himself behind Kakashi. Is it Kurenai? No, Jinjutsu cannot be used like this. Jinjutsu is used for area coverage, trapping opponents, and giving false information. So that is me. That's not possible. Zabuza failed to notice Kakashi finished the seals before he could. Suiton. Daibakufu no jutsu, Kakashi cried. As he did, his Sharingan started spinning like crazy. Nani? Zabuza cried. Impossible. The jutsu tackled Zabuza, putting pressure on him and dragging him away from battle area. Zabuza tried to regain control, but it was impossible. I'm the one doing the jutsu yet I can't keep up. The genins all felt they were getting blown away. Tazuna covered his face from the amount of air pressure the water was creating. Kurenai stood still as if it didn't bother her. The mysterious hunter nin realized the danger he was in, disappeared from the branch to another. The jutsu carried Zabuza to a tree and slammed him into it. Before Zabuza could do anything, 4 kunais found themselves in his body. Kakashi appeared on the branch above Kakashi. It's over. Kakashi stated. When the water died away, Zabuza looked at Kakashi. How can you see the future? Zabuza asked. Yeah, you're going to die. Kakashi said, bring up his kunai. Before he could do anything, Kakashi sensed an attack and saw 2 senbon needles before they struck Zabuza in the neck. This shocked everyone and they turned to the source of the killer. There stood a hunter nin, all in his glory. Haku. The hunter nin chuckled before he spoke. You're right. He died. Everyone stared in awe, but Kiba, growing a nerve, rushed forwards to see what this guy deal was. Kakashi jumps down and checks Zabuza's pulse. He really is dead. Kakashi stated. The hunter nin bowed his head. Thank you very much. I have been searching for the opportunity to kill Zabuza for a long time. That mask, you're a hidden mist hunter nin. Kakashi stated. Impressive. You are correct. Hunter nin? Kiba asked stupidly. Isn't your family hunter nins? Shino asked the dog boy. Of course they are, I'm just asking, is he really a hunter nin? Kiba barked. What's a hunter nin? Hinata asked. You don't even know what a hunter nin is? Sakura asked surprisingly. Hinata shook her head. We learned about it at the academy. Oh, that's right, you weren't there that day. Sakura replied. A hunter nin is a ninja that tracks down and assassinates ninjas like Zabuza, who, for whatever reason, have betrayed their native village and escaped. It's to prevent the secrets of the village from getting out. That's really basic stuff. Yes, my duty is to hunt down missing nins. I'm a member of the Hidden Mists Hunter Nin team. However, you brats should study harder about us. The hunter nin replied. From his voice and height, he's probably not much older than Naruto and the others, yet he's a hunter nin. He's definitely not a normal kid. The hunter nin raised his arm and disappeared in a whirl of wind and reappeared next to Zabuza. Naruto rushed forward. Why did you have to kill him? Kakashi put his hand on his head. I know what you are going through, Naruto. But this is the truth, Kakashi replied before Naruto did anything stupid or worse, unleashed the seal. In this world, there exist kids younger than you yet stronger than me. Naruto turned his head. He knew it all too well. The next hero of water was only 9 years old and gave Uchiha Sasuke, 19 at the time, the hardest time of Sasuke's life. The hunter nin picks up Zabuza's body and made a seal. Their battle is now over. I must dispose of this body, since it seems to be a body with many secrets. Farewell. The hunter nin replied in a whirl of wind. He's gone. Kiba replied shock. Kakashi sighs and places his forehead protector over his left eye. You all did great, let's go over to my house and relax. Tazuna replied happily. Okay, let's go. Kakashi replied leading the way. He barely took a step when he froze. Before anyone could do anything, Kakashi fell over face first. Kakashi-sensei. Sakura screamed. Kurenai-sai. He overdid it again. She went over and picks him up. Tazuna, can you help me? She asked. He nodded and put Kakashi's arm over his shoulder. Kurenai did the same and both of them carried Kakashi to Tazuna's house. At the house, team 8 and 7 gather around Kakashi, who was unconscious. The gulls sounded like they were laughing outside. In his bed, Kakashi slept. I use the Sharingan too much, eh? Are you alright, sensei? A young woman asks. Kakashi felt himself blushing at the young beautiful woman who stood in front of him. She was younger than he and he was already thinking true love at first sight. Quickly getting his head together, he answered her question. Yeah, but I'll barely be able to move my body for a week. He tried to sit up but wince in pain. Then you should keep still for a while. Yeah. He goes back lying down. Kids, your sensei is awake. She shouted. In came the rest of the team. Kurenai walk in as well. Oh. Sensei is awake. Naruto shouted. Geez, the Sharingan is incredible, but if it puts that much stress on the body, I guess you have to think before using it. Sakura replied. Sorry. Well, we defeated that strong of a ninja this time. We should be safe for a while. Tazuna replied happily. By the way, who was the masked kid? Sakura replied in her thinking mode. That's the mask worn by the Hidden Mist Sanbu Special Hunter Nin Team. Special Team? They're also known as body erasers. Their duty is to completely dispose of the body without a trace. A ninja's body has within it secrets of the village's ninjutsu, information on different chakra types, herbs, and other things that will reveal information about the village. For example, if I died, the secrets of the Sharingan could be revealed. If you aren't careful, there's a danger that the enemy will even steal your jutsu. So, by killing and disposing the missing nins who have abandoned their village, the hunter nins protect the information from getting out. They are the specialists who guard their village's secrets. Kakashi stated. Somewhere in the forest. Zabuza lay dead while the hunter nin pulled out his tools. First I'll cut the mouth cloth and drain some blood. The hunter nin mutters, moving to do it. Just as the weapon was about to reach the cloth, Zabuza's had shot up and grabbed the kid's wrist. That's alright, I'll do it myself. Zabuza replied. He pulled down his mouth cloth, barely able to move. Oh, you've already come back to life. Zabuza sat up. Damn, you sure are rough. He replies, pulling one of the senbon needles out. You shouldn't be so rough on yourself, Zabuza. You'll really die pulling them out like that. He replied as Zabuza pulled out the second one. Zabuza grunted before turning to the kid. How long are you going to wear that stupid mask? Take it off. It brings back memories. Plus, it was useful for this act. He replies, pulling of the mask. But, if I hadn't saved you, you definitely would have been killed. If you were going to put me into a momentary death state, you didn't have to use the acupuncture point in my neck. You are annoying as always. Zabuza replies, putting his mask back on. I had to. I just didn't want to scar your beautiful body, and the neck doesn't have much muscle, so it's easier to hit the acupuncture point there. Haku replies, blushing. Zabuza tried to stand but couldn't. You shouldn't be able to move for about a week. But, being the way you are, you'll be up and about in no time. You are so pure and clever, that's what I like about you. Haku blushes. That's because I'm just a kid. Haku stands up. The mist has cleared. Yeah. Next time, will you be alright? Next time I will be able to defeat the Sharingan. Azuna's place. What's this? Zabuza is dead yet, what's this feeling? I feel like I'm missing something very important. What's wrong, sensei? Hinata asked. Well, continuing what I was saying, body erasing teams usually dispose of the body of the person at the spot they killed them. So, what about it? What did that masked boy do with Zabuza's body? How could we know? That masked guy took the body with him. Exactly. If he needed proof of the kill, he could have just taken the head. And the weapon he used to kill Zabuza, then it hit Kurenai and Kakashi like a ton of bricks. Simple needles. Sasuke replied, also remembering the weapon. No way. Sasuke cried. Yeah, exactly. No way, indeed. What are you guys talking about? Tazuna asks. Most likely Zabuza is alive. Everyone jump up shocked to hear Kakashi's answer. What the hell do you mean? Kiba yelled. Kakashi-sensei, you checked and said he was dead. Sakura screamed. Yeah, I did, but that was most likely just a temporary state mimicking death. The needle weapon that the hunter nin used is called senbon. Unless it hits a vital organ, it has a low probability of killing your opponent. It's an item used even by doctors in acupuncture therapy. Hunter nins know about the body's structure thoroughly. Putting a person into a temporary metabolic suspension is probably easy for them. First, he carried away the body of the much heavier Zabuza. Second, he used a weapon that has a low probability of killing. These 2 points indicate that his motive was not to kill Zabuza, but to save him. Kakashi replied. Aren't you thinking too much? Tazuna asked, worried this was a sick joke. No. With all the suspicion, we'll have to prepare before it's too late. That's a shinobi rule. Kakashi stopped there. Noticed someone smile. Naruto had a grin on his face. He's actually happy hearing that Zabuza might be alive. Perfect, I knew this would happen again. Now, I have to find a way to defeat Zabuza and Haku. But first, Kakashi-sensei and Kurenai-sensei, it's time you learn my little secret. Sensei, what do you mean by preparing before it's too late? You can barely move. Sakura asks. Kakashi started laughing before speaking. I'll train you guys. With proper tree climbing. Hold on. Training. What's a little training going to do? Our enemy is a ninja you struggled against, even with the Sharingan. Are you trying to get us killed? Hell no, inner Sakura screamed. Sakura, who saved me while I was struggling. You guys are growing rapidly. Especially Naruto. You've improved the most. Kakashi replied, smiling. He does seem better than he used to be, but… You finally noticed, Kakashi-sensei. This is going to be so much fun. Naruto replied stupidly. Fun? No, it won't. A voice at the door replied. Everyone turned to see a small boy who they immediately assumed was the grandson. Who the hell are you? Naruto snapped. Oh, Inari. Where were you? Tazuna cried. Inari ran to his grandfather. Welcome back, Ajusan. Inari, say hello to these people. They're ninjas who protected your grandpa. His mother snaps. It's okay, right Inari? Tazuna replies happily. Inari eyed the ninjas in the room before turning to his mother. Mom, they're going to die. There's no way they can win against Gato. What did you say, you shrimp? Kiba yelled. Akamaru barked and showed his teeth. What are you, stupid? There's no such thing as a hero. Inari asked with his head down. What did you say, you brat? Kiba yelled. Stop it, Kiba. Sakura shouted, grabbing the dog boy before he seriously hurt the boy. If you don't want to die, you should leave. Inari replied, walking out the room. Where are you going, Inari? Tazuna asks. To look at the ocean from my room. Sorry about that. Later that day. Naruto, come down already. Sakura shouted as both teams were ready to head out into the forest. Damn it. Naruto growled. He forgot how Inari was before he changed him. Naruto walked past his room to hear Inari crying. Naruto peeked inside to see Inari crying at a piece of photo. Dad. Naruto said nothing but walk away. Takara Forest. I'm not going into details, this chapter is longer than I expected. Naruto was racing against Sasuke to the top. Naruto faked it to seem he was having trouble with chakra control to ask Sakura how to do it better. Naruto is growing faster than I expected. If well trained properly, he will become even stronger than Sasuke, in fact, even stronger than me. Kakashi thought as he watched the blonde. Naruto purposely stayed late and continued to climb the tree. As soon as everyone left, only he, Kakashi and Kurenai were left. He jumped down and asked the two for a quick question. They walk over, but when they realized what happened, it was too late. They were trapped in a genjutsu. The world was black and white and the sky glowed red. Standing in front of them looked like Yanyandame Hokage-sama. Kurenai gasps. Sensei, Kakashi screamed. Calm yourselves, Kakashi-sensei, Kurenai-sensei. I guessed Tsunade-bachan was correct. I do look like my father. Thank God I didn't become a pervert like Hiro-senin. The adult blonde said calmly. Who are you? Kurenai demanded. I'm Naruto. He stated calmly. Impossible, if you were Naruto you would be 12 not 25. Kurenai snapped. Naruto sighs. I knew both of you wouldn't believe this, so I prepared this world to show you the events on the bridge. How it should have happened. Naruto replied, and soon Kakashi and Kurenai saw the events on the bridge, only with no teammate. How is this possible? Kurenai gasped. Believe or not, I'm a 25-year-old Rakudame of the Hidden Leaf Village. I came from the future to prevent the fall of the village and the destruction of the world. What are you talking about? Both of you will requester our teams for the upcoming Chunin exams. During the exam's S-class criminal from Konoha itself, the snake-san in Orochimaru will give Sasuke the same curse seal he gave Anko. During the finals, he and Suna will attack Konoha, killing many shinobis. Orochimaru would leave Konoha alive. Without the use of any jutsu, he will walk the earth as weak shinobi. The biggest loss for Konoha will be the death of the Sandaime Hokage. In search of the Godaime Hokage, Iro-Sennin and I traveled to see Tsunade Bachan to convince her to become the Godaime Hokage. She made a bet with me to master Rasengan in 1 week she would come back as the Godaime and mark me Rakudaime Hokage. I succeed but I had to fight Orochimaru and his right-hand man Kabuto. Apparently he is strong as you are Kakashi-sensei. After that chain of events it's best to show you. Naruto's eyes flash and Kakashi and Kurenai saw the chain of events. Akatsuki, Odo, the war and their deaths. They saw the pact made with Kyuubi to send Naruto back to prevent these things from happening. I'm telling you so you two won't worry about me. The only person who knows besides you two is Hinata. Kakashi, I know you might not believe this, but do not teach Sasuke the Chidori. Or even Rasengan. He will be able to find new ways to improve your jutsus and make them lethally. Because of Sasuke, Konoha fell. Only Suna managed to survive. Then why don't we change Sasuke's ways? Kurenai asked. It's no use, I didn't expect this, but his future spirit is merging with his past spirit. I must have brought the future spirits with me when I went back in time. Kakashi, I know because your Sharingan looks ready for the change of the new Manjikyu Sharingan. However, do not tell anyone. Even though your older spirits are merging with you, your older power is not. Only mine is, that's why I'm improving so fast. Even so, I'm still training to become stronger. Kakashi, Kurenai I got a request, do not kill Zabuza or Haku. Why shouldn't we? Kakashi glared. Because they will be a powerful ally for the Leaf. Leave me to bring them to the Leaf. I changed Zabuza once, I can't do it again. Haku possesses a powerful Kekkei Genkai for a future Leaf clan. Zabuza is an expert swordsman who has a great knowledge of water jutsus, Taijutsu and even Genjutsu and silent techniques. This will improve Leaf Anbu greatly and the perfect assassin type. Plus I got my own plans once everything goes as I think it will. Kakashi, Kurenai, you two also need to become more powerful. But we are the best in the village. Kurenai replied. But you're not good enough. You will meet pair of shinobis who's just as strong as Orochimaru. Some are even stronger. That's why you need to train and become stronger. Naruto replied. The world soon disappeared and a 12-year-old Naruto stood in front of them. I'm going to stay here for the night. The hunter nin will be here in the morning and I want to talk to her. Kakashi and Kurenai fell over in I'm style hearing the hunter nin was a girl. After warning not to tell anyone the two jounins left. So is he telling the truth? Kurenai asks once they were out of earshot. Most likely. This Naruto is different from the academy. And he was, during a brief moment with my fight with Zabuza, I seemed to know exactly what to do. For now let's wait till the Chunin exams for us to tell Hokage-sama. Kakashi replied reading his book. Kurenai nodded, it made sense. Naruto suddenly forced all his chakra out of him in one punch into a tree. Forcing himself into slumber. Chapter 4. Hero of Wave. Naruto lies on the ground, tired from the punch he performed. He wasn't strong enough, but he knew how Sakura and Tsunade did their amazing strength. Now he was tired, his sword was against the tree. He wasn't worried about thieves, it was impossible to steal his sword. It was soul-bound to him. A young girl carrying a basket, wearing pink clothing walk into the area. She had a Miss Chakra necklace on her neck as she calmly picks some herbs. When a bird near her flies to a young boy, she immediately recognizes him as one of the shinobi who fought against Zabuza. Haku walked over, was about to grab the boy's throat before reaching for his shoulder at the last second. Just as she was about to touch him she suddenly realized she was looking upwards and felt a cold piece of metal against her throat. She looks into the boy's blue eyes and was shocked to see there was no fear or any emotion in them. For the first time in a long time, she felt frightened and wanted to crawl under something. I've been waiting for you. Naruto replied calmly. Haku said nothing, she may be stronger at the moment, but he had the advantage. You waited till my guard was down and I was close enough, I was careless. She replies carefully. Smart, I knew you wouldn't harm me, or else there would be a trail of my blood and my senseis would discover Zabuza's whereabouts from your trail. Naruto replied calmly. Haku eyes widen when he mentions Zabuza's name. How did he know? Naruto grabbed a piece of her hair and showed her the end. Your hair bracers were the same as the hunter nins who saved Zabuza. Even thought they are together, they are the same type. Haku eyes showed fear. Any more information on her, she would fail Zabuza. He was in position of killing her, but he didn't strike. I know what you're thinking. That I've never killed before, how I think you should know, I've killed hundreds of people before. So killing you won't disturb me a bit. Then why won't you kill me? I have my plans for you. You will bring Zabuza to Konoha. Besides, I think you're really cute. Naruto replied before Haku could say anything. Naruto kiss her. Haku shocked, tried to struggling only to realize she was trying to get him on top of her. She was enjoying this. His hands here on her thighs and going up towards her ass. He grips it and she gave a deep moan in his mouth. Naruto never broke away as he let his hands wander around her body. She didn't protest or complain but sank into his mouth. He broke away and started sucking her neck, biting it once in a while. She wraps her legs around him, unable to stop her desire. Unlike most of the guys she knew, he wasn't mean to her or ever tried to rape her. She killed every guy who tried to do something like that, but he was pleasant and carefully with her. Naruto stopped and sat up. Haku was breathing heavily, wondering why he would stop something that felt so wonderful. Her robe was nearly off her chest, and her ninja shirt was slipping off her from the amount of sweat she was pouring. Naruto grabbed her hips and tried to get her legs off his waist, but she squeezed tighter, refusing to let go. "Or please," she gasps. She wanted that feeling again. Being safe in someone else's arms. She never felt this before and was enjoying it so much she didn't want it to never end. Naruto stood up and Haku rested her head on his chest. Suddenly Naruto puffed smoke and she fell on the ground with a hard thud on her ass. Her robe was barely hanging off and most of her body was nearly exposed. Quickly adjusting her robes, she sat up to see Naruto looking out into the sea. "Go to Zabuza, tell him if he accepts, Konoha will welcome him in open arms." Naruto replies calmly. Haku nodded and rested her head on his shoulder. She wanted to be pleased so badly she was prepared for anything to get him to do it. Naruto sighs and kisses her one last time before he walks away. Knowing he was going to his team, she got up and went back to Zabuza, unable to get the image of him on top of her. She didn't want to admit it, but she liked it so much she was willing to take his offer to join Konoha. But Naruto banged his head for the 100th time that morning. Everyone was wondering what was wrong. Baka, baka, baka. Why did I have to hit on her like that? I know she is cute, but I love Hinata. If this happens between Yujito and me, I swear I'm going to puke. From her pictures she was super cute. Blushing with a pervert thought, no, give it a rest Naruto. Hinata is yours. A week later. Naruto went to bed despite people asking him what he was doing. As he was on his way, Inari started to shout at him. "Why do you even try?" he shouted. Naruto stopped at the bottom of the stairs. His face somehow was in the shadows. "Seeing you train the way you makes me sick. Just get out of here and leave, you're just going to die against Gato," he screamed. "Is that why you cry like a baby who survives a tragic event? Grow up, you weakling, or you let everyone walk over you," Naruto said, walking back up the stairs. "Well, since it's been a week, so let's all go to the bridge together. Let Naruto sleep, he worked hard this week but he overdid it with his body. If he wakes up, tell him to meet us at the bridge," Kakashi said, leading the two genin teams away. Kurenai followed him looking sour. "Kakashi, Kurenai, when you feel better Kakashi, Zabuza will attack you on the bridge with water clones. Have Sasuke take them out and let him deal with Haku with Kurenai's support. When I arrive I'll knock out the other genin and give you all a single to stop Zabuza, remember don't kill him." Naruto's words echo in both Jounin's head. Kakashi glanced at Sasuke, unable to believe that boy at the age of 18 would be the reason Konoha was wiped out. Deep down Kakashi knew the darkness inside of him was too strong. He believed he could change it, no doubt the result would be the same in his last life. But he would be the reason Sasuke would die. If he saw what he thought he saw, Sasuke is a lighting element, while Naruto is a wind element. He could trick Sasuke into thinking lighting was the most powerful element there is and teach him Chidori. He will have Naruto train in the wind element style to counter Sasuke's power. True, the Chidori was dangerous, but so was that jutsu he saw. If he can help Naruto find a way to fully control it, then he would defeat Sasuke. He knew it would be mostly his fault for the downfall of Konoha. He knew he was a horrible sensei. But things would change, he would keep his promise to Obito and to Rin. He misses Rin so much. She always cheered him up. They reached the bridge and true to Naruto's words, most of the workers were dead. Kakashi and Kurenai stepped forward. "I was wondering when you would appear, Zabuza." From the shadows of the mist Zabuza appeared. "So you knew. Where is your little friend?" Kurenai demanded. Haku appeared beside Zabuza. As expected, Jounin spotted the missing link to the killing. Haku replied calmly. "Sasuke." Sasuke quickly moved and disposed all the water clones that appeared. "That piece of trash has gotten better. Haku, looks like a challenge for you has appeared." "It would seem so." Haku charged forward as well as Sasuke. Sasuke pulled out a kunai while Haku slips a senbon needle into his hand. Haku and Sasuke clash, each one trying to gain the upper hand. "Oh Sasuke-kun." Sakura cheered. "It seems you won't back down, will you? I hate people like you." Sasuke replied with a smirk. "Well, I have the advantage here. First, the water around us, second, I have one of your hands occupied. Watch carefully. Haku lifts her left hand up and started forming seals with one hand. Kakashi and Kurenai look shocked. They've seen some of the greatest shinobis on earth but never saw anyone who could form seals with one hand. The water around both Haku and Sasuke rose up surrounding both of them as they turn into sharp needles. Sensetsu Susho, Haku cried. The needles came down and Sakura looked shocked to see Sasuke get defeated. When the smoke cleared, Sasuke was nowhere to be seen. Above. Sasuke pulled out his shurikens and threw them at Haku. Haku jumped back away from the shurikens. When the last one was thrown, Haku felt a presence behind her. It seems I have the advantage here. Sasuke replied, smirking. Haku brought her senbon needle to block Sasuke's kunai. With a flick, Sasuke threw his kunai to her face. As she ducked, Sasuke's foot smashed against her mask. Haku crash landed in front of Zabuza. Haku lost in speed. Impossible. Zabuza, you can't go calling our squads brats. Sasuke, there is our village's #1 rookie. Sakura is our brightest Kanuchi. Kiba and his dog Akamaru is the village's rookie's best trackers. Shino here is our stealth specialist. Hinata is the rookie's taijutsu specialist as well. Our last member is the most surprising, unpredictable ninja ever. Uzumaki Naruto. Zabuza took in this information and started laughing. Haku, you're still soft as always. Haku stood up. Forgive me, Zabuza-san. Finish it already. That jutsu already? Hi. Very well. Haku stood up and formed a strange seal. Chakra soon started form and leave the hunter nin's body. Ninpu. Makyo Hyo Sho. Sasuke looked surprised to see the water rising upwards. He then felt something behind and saw ice mirror rising. Looking around him, he saw he was trapped with walls of mirrors. To his surprise, Haku stepped forward and into the mirrors. Now then, shall I show you my true speed? Haku replies calmly. Sasuke suddenly felt a pain on his arm and then another. Before he knew it, he was covering himself from the attacks. Sasuke-kun. Sakura screamed. Everyone watched in horror as Sasuke was getting torn to pieces, yet they couldn't see where the attacks were coming from. When the attack stopped, Sasuke fell on the floor unable to get up. Don't tell me that's Kakashi cried. Zabuza chuckled. That's right, that's Haku Keke Jinkai. Keke Jinkai? Sakura asks. It's similar to my Sharingan. It's an advanced bloodline capability. In other words, not even my Sharingan can copy that technique. But Sasuke-kun can defeat that guy, can't he? Even with help, we might be able to defeat that jutsu, but no that guy. Kurenai replied. Is that guy really that strong? You damn right, you trash. Haku is even stronger than me. Zabuza replied with a confident smirk. Kurenai, take Kiba and Hinata with you. Shino and Sakura will stay with the bridge builder while I take care of Zabuza. Kurenai nodded and took off with Kiba and Hinata close behind her. Zabuza tried to intercept them, but Kakashi stood in his way. Your battle is with me, Zabuza. It doesn't matter, no one has ever survived against Haku. But then again, Haku, you still are being soft. Zabuza shouted looking at his companion. Forgive me, Zabuza-san. Soft no, he's not lying. From these wounds, he's not going for my vital organs. If he wasn't going soft, I would be dead right now. Kurenai started forming seals and tried to hit in the Jinjutsu. Haku, seeing the Jinjutsu, threw a needle into Kurenai's shoulder. Kurenai felt pain and her shoulder fell down onto her knees. Ninjutsu will not work inside my mirrors. Haku replied calmly. Haku soon started to ran down needles. Only Kurenai, being a skilled jounin, was able to dodge most of them. Sadly, Sasuke, Kiba and Hinata were having a lot of trouble. Soon many Hakus appeared and the ice crystals. Hinata, sensing danger, started to spin around. Hyuga style. Kaiten. She screams. Haku looked surprised to see the girl spin as chakra started flowing around her teammates and teacher, creating a shield against the senbon needles. Not bad, so that's an absolute defense. Hinata stopped spinning looking really tired. It seems that defense of yours takes a lot of chakra. Haku replied. Before anyone could see, a shuriken appeared and hit Haku through the mirror. Haku fell down. Zabuza looked back unable to believe to see Haku defeated. Before anyone could react, Sasuke and Shino fell down to the ground. Kurenai appeared and picked them up. Hinata, come with me. Kurenai shouted running out the mirrors. Hinata nodded and followed her sensei. Naruto, I hope you know what you are doing. Naruto stepped out of the mirrors and faced Haku. Haku stood up and glared at the boy. Haku walked forward and slid into the mirror. Zabuza and Kakashi. Kakashi reached for his forehead protector. Zabuza, realizing what he was going, rushed in and pulled out a hidden dagger. Kakashi, seeing the attack, blocked it with his hand. You and your damn Sharingan. Zabuza shouted. You should feel honor. You're the only person who has faced it twice. However, there will not be a third time. It seems you can't do anything without that Sharingan of yours. Kakashi, I've waited a whole week to say this to you. I don't fall for the same jutsu twice. One of your own words, isn't it? Kakashi glared and Zabuza jumped back. As he did, Kakashi unsheathes his Sharingan eye. Sharingan like always. I however have found a way to counter it. Zabuza replies, closing his eyes. Last time, you copied me perfectly. And during the last attack, you hypnotized me and forced me to show you the final seals. Well, you got me with that genjutsu of yours. With my eyes closed and the mist blocking your Sharingan eye, I'll be perfectly safe from your eye. Zabuza replies, disappearing into the mist. But with your eyes closed and this thick mist, you can't see either. Did you forget, Kakashi? I'm a genius at silent killing just by people's sound. Kakashi opened his eye wide, realizing his opponent really thought this out. Haku and Naruto. Naruto brought his sheath up and blocked the needles that were aimed for his face. How? How is he reading my attacks? Haku disappeared and reappeared above him and threw more needles down. Only his sword appeared and blocked the needles in their path. Haku created buncheons and tried to attack in all direction. Naruto spun and took out all the needles. If this keeps up, then I won't be able to beat him. Naruto rushed forward as Haku jumped out of her mirror. They met head-on. Kakashi and Zabuza. Kakashi stood alone in the mist, worried about Naruto. He couldn't help but feel this plan wasn't going to work. Okay, stay calm. Now what did Naruto show me when I was in this situation? Kakashi's eyes opened wide, realizing who was in danger. Sakura turned around to see Zabuza head towards them with his sword at the ready. Kakashi appeared just in time. The slow Kakashi. Sakura's scream could be heard all over the bridge. Kurenai heard the scream and rushed forwards. Remember part of the plan. Haku and Naruto. Naruto was breathing heavily. Haku was also slightly panting. Haku never fought an opponent like this before. Naruto heard Sakura screamed and smirk. Kurenai and Kakashi would have Zabuza pinned soon. He would have to finish things up. Naruto closed his eye and focused on the power that would aid him. He would use his ace right now. Haku looked at Naruto to see chakra rising and changing colors. Then a burst of energy appeared, surrounding him with blazing energy. So powerful that Haku's mirrors soon started to break from the amount of pressure Naruto was giving. Zabuza, Kakashi, Kurenai. Zabuza looked away from his focus on Kakashi as the amount of power being released. What is this power? Kakashi. No, it's too powerful even for him. Then where is it coming from? Is this Zabuza? No, this is an element chakra, meaning Naruto. Of course, he does come from that clan. No doubt Naruto will be even greater than the fourth. I'm sorry I even doubted you. Now this is the signal he was talking about. Well then, it's time to finish this. Is this really Naruto? The amount of power he is releasing is unbelievable. I have never felt such power in my life. This is even stronger than the Kyuubi. How can he control such power? No time to ponder, time me to do my part. Haku and Naruto. Haku disappeared as soon as Naruto destroyed her mirror. The frontal attack will not work. In that case. The lot Hakus appeared and threw as many senbon needles as possible. The strange chakra suddenly takes form as a shield and blocks every needle. Haku was shocked. Then the chakra spread, destroying every buncheon until Haku was left. Naruto charged forward and smashed Haku's mirrors. Haku, still in her mirror, attacked Naruto in his blind spot. Naruto flipped and dodged the attack in midair. Impossible. Haku tried to retreat to another mirror only for Naruto to grab her wrist. Is too strong. Naruto chakra soon burst, destroying every single mirror around them. His power is too strong. I can't hold it back. What is he? Naruto soon started holding as much chakra as he could into his fist. Then, before Haku could do anything, Naruto's fist smashed into her face and launched her straight through her mirror. Naruto picked up a couple of senbon needles and threw them into her neck before she could do anything. Haku closed her eyes, believing she was dead. Naruto walked over and removed the needles to make it look like she died. Kakashi, Kurenai vs Zabuza. Zabuza, can you hear me? I know this might not do well against your style, but since we both are in a hurry, why don't we finish this now? Sounds interesting. What can you do in this situation? Show me, Kakashi. Kakashi pulled out a scroll and rubbed his blood on it. He slammed it into the ground as seals started to emerge. Zabuza had his eyes closed when he felt something was wrong. He opens his eyes to see a dog come out him. No time to think about where they came from, he quickly jumps out the way and was glad because another dog appeared and nearly took of his leg. However, more appeared and he was soon pinned. Finally, so that's where you were. Kakashi replied as he and Kurenai appeared in front of him. Zabuza, you keep thinking Kakashi can only survive with only his Sharingan. Maybe it's time to show you his one and only original move. Kurenai replied. Kakashi soon started to make seals and chakras soon started to appear. Akiri. Kakashi shouted. Zabuza's eyes open wide seeing a technique so powerful. What is that technique? There is enough chakra to be seen by the naked eye. Zabuza, your ambitions is too dangerous, even for yourself. You tried and failed to kill the Mizukage. Taking your remaining loyal followers you fled Kiri. Your information was given immediately to the Hidden Leaf village. I don't care. I swear I'll kill you. What can you do when you are pinned and unable to move when I hold your fate in my hands? Zabuza, I will only say this once. Give up. Never. No wonder why you attach yourself to a scum like Gato. You needed to avoid the hunter nins. But you also needed money for your revenge. Haku is defeated, you are defeated. Give up. Kakashi's Rikiri died as Kurenai formed some seals. She stopped and Zabuza soon felt himself sinking into ground. Kurenai stopped the Jinjutsu when she felt a weak presence of 100 people near the end of the bridge. Kakashi's dogs also disappeared. The three Jounins looked towards the source of someone clapping. Zabuza, Zabuza. Look at you. You can't even defend your comrade's death. Then again, the demon brothers were so easy to kill. Gato replied happily. What? Gato snapped his finger and two of his guards threw down the demon brothers. Kakashi, Kurenai. It looks like we no longer have any reason to fight anymore. Hi. I owe this one real big. For nearly breaking my arm. Gato walk over to Haku and kick her. Naruto got enraged and charged forward. Kakashi and Kurenai hold him back. You team. I'm going to kill you. Naruto shouted. That's enough kid. Haku was nothing more than a tool. I did not want him but his power. I used Haku and the demon brothers just like Gato used me. Zabuza replied. Naruto shook off his senseis. You're telling me you don't feel a thing? They believed and stood by you all this time, no matter how dark things gone. They even died for your dreams and you don't feel a thing. You're saying, if I grow up to be big and strong, I'm going to end up like you? Naruto replied nearly in tears. Naruto, that's enough. Kakashi started until Zabuza cut him off. Kid, you don't have to say no more. I guess, we shinobis may be tools. But we are also human beings with emotions. In the end, I'm glad to have met you guys. Kakashi, I know this is a lot to ask for. But can you? Zabuza didn't finish as Naruto threw a kunai at Gato with blinding speed. The kunai sank into Gato's throat and he died choking on his own blood. Hey kid, you just killed our meal ticket. That means he stopped short as a kunai pierced his skull. The rest of the bandits were unsure what to do. They were about to make a decision when an arrow appeared and landed in front of the bandits. If you take one step towards our island, the people of Wave will stop with everything they got. An old man shouted. Yeah. The people cheered. Okay then, time to turn up the heat. Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto shouted as hundreds of shadow clones appeared. I can do that, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Kakashi replied. So, who wants a piece of this? All 30 Kakashis replied. The bandits were really close to pissing themselves. I guess being the demon of the mist should be the master of fear. Mizu Bunshin no Jutsu. Zabuza replied as 30 water clones rose up. Don't leave me out. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Kurenai shouted. Unlike the others, she could only produce 15. Well, who is going to die first? Naruto shouted. This broke the bandits' confidence. They broke and ran to the boat. They had many jumping off the edge. All the clones disappeared. We did it. Inari shouted as the people cheered. Zabuza looked at Naruto with an interesting look. He has a mysterious power. Kakashi replied. Sakura, who was amazed at the amount of power Naruto showed, listened to her sensei speak. What do you mean? For some reason he can look into people's hearts and see their darkness. Instead of manipulating their hearts he tries to change people. You felt it, didn't you? When he was talking to you, you felt as you were slowly changing. I did, I felt warmth I never felt before. Zabuza replied. Look upwards. That's true, without saying much, he can become friends with almost anyone. He gives a feeling that everything can become okay even when things aren't going so well. Not even the Hokage has an explanation for his power. What shall become of me now? Zabuza asks. Naruto walk forward and pick up the demon brothers. He carried them to Zabuza. Zabuza looked at the young brothers and let his tears fall. Naruto was carrying Haku, who opened her eyes slowly. Where am I? She asks. On the bridge. Gato is dead. The battle is over. Naruto replied. You hit me in my acupuncture, didn't you? Hi. Zabuza walk over and carried Haku. Kakashi and Kurenai pick up the demon brothers and walk away. At this time, the other genins woke up. Sakura screamed with joy seeing her Sasuke-kun awake and alright. Sasuke-kun, I knew you were unbeatable. You defeated that hunter nin all by yourself, didn't you? Sakura replied with joy. Sasuke looked surprised to hear the hunter nin was defeated. Wave Hilltop. Zabuza just finished burying the demon brothers. They've been with him for a long time. All these years, he has denied any feelings towards the demon brothers. They were loyal and never question him. Believe in him to get things right and aid them. Haku was getting supported by Naruto. She had a sad look in her eye at the death of two of her mentors. Do you think they will be able to find peace? Haku asks. Where they are going, I can only believe they will. Kakashi replied. You two have any ideas where you are going to go? Naruto asks. We'll manage somehow. Zabuza replied. Why not come to the Leaf? Not only will Kiri not come after you guys anymore, but you can teach Leaf Shinobis better chakra control with Suiton Jutsu and Kenjutsu. This is a win-win situation for both Leaf and you two. But your Hokage is a reasonable leader. He is also no fool to get a powerful ally. I serious doubt you two want to keep running. This is a great chance to start over and have some peace in your life. Zabuza walked between the graves and pierced his sword into the ground. I do need to start over. I swear by the demon brother's blood I will give up my ambition and start over. It's time to start over. Naruto smiled as did Haku. Kakashi and Kurenai smiled with pleasure. Naruto can befriend anyone without saying much. His has a mysterious power. Let's get the rest of your brats and go to the Leaf. Zabuza replied. The next day. The combined team of 7 and 8 with Zabuza and Haku walk onwards towards Konoha. They had survived their first air rank mission. Zabuza was giving point 2 days later. Konoha was in sight. The first things that happened was when Kakashi and Kurenai took Naruto, Haku and Zabuza to see the Hokage. Zabuza knew to kill the old man was going to be tough. This man was the strongest Kage in the shinobi world. Even in his old age, it was nearly impossible to defeat him without help. A third listened to Zabuza's tale. Kakashi and Kurenai explained what happened and Naruto was getting annoyed decided to use a page off of Konohamaru's book. Forming a shadow clone, he quickly hinged into his warg. Ana no Kodashi no Jutsu. The Hokage agreed for citizenship and ninja ranks to the two. Haku was put as elite Chunin while Zabuza, for giving Kakashi a hard time with Kurenai's aid, was promoted to elite Jounin with a new title of Demon of the Leaf. 2 months later. Naruto lay back sitting on a roof when he heard a voice he hadn't heard in a long time. What do you think you are doing, kid? Let me go, you big bully. Konohamaru shouted. Ankuro, just put him down. A female voice replied in a bored tone. After I teach this brat a lesson. Wait till Naruto Nai-chan gets here. He's going to kick your ass. Konohamaru shouted with boost of hope. Naruto appeared beside a genin team from Odo. They didn't even notice his presence. Sakura was shielding Yuden and Mijay. Unsure to get in there and save Konohamaru. At that moment a rock hit Kankuro in the head. Who in the hell? Kankuro shouted looking at the source of the thrower. There sat Sasuke playing with a rock in his hand. Bullies are normal weak. Since you two seem to be outsiders, I suggest you leave our village. Sasuke-kun, you're the greatest. Sakura screamed in joy. I always hated that bitch. Naruto thought in disgust. Kankuro, however, wasn't going to let a rock throw slide. He unwraps his bandages and set it down. You're going to use Kuro? Temari asked in shock. This was not going as planned. At that moment, before any of them could find out what Kuro was, Gaara appeared. Kankuro. Stop. He orders. Gaara. Kankuro replied in fear. Konohamaru, free of his capture's grip, ran behind Sakura. We were. Shut up or I'll kill you. Gaara replied in a cold tone. Right, sorry. Gaara disappeared in a whirl of sand and landed beside his siblings before looking at Sasuke. For him to hit Kankuro with a rock he must be good. Worthy of mother's blood. Let's go. Gaara orders. He stops when a faint chakra signature appeared. He looks up to see Naruto watching them. Who is that kid? For him to appear so silently. And not even be noticed by Temari's senses. He must be a strong shinobi. Hold up. You three wear Suna headbands. What are you doing here in Konoha? Suna may be allies, but you can't just come to Konoha whenever you like. Sakura demanded. Oh, rookies. We are here for the Chunin exams. Chunin exams? It's the place where you have a chance to get promoted to Chunin. Konohamaru explained to Sakura. Sakura fist smash against Konohamaru's skull. I know that baka. She screamed. Temari pulled out her passport and showed Sakura. Happy now? These are our passports to stay in Konoha for a month. Now we will take our leave. Wait, what's your name? Sasuke demanded. Mine. Temari asks hopefully in gaining a boyfriend. No, the one with the guard. Sasuke replied as Temari's face dropped. Tsubuku no Gaara. I want to know both of your names as well. Uchiha Sasuke. Har. Not you him. Gaara said looking at Naruto. Both Sasuke and Sakura look up to see Naruto standing there. Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto replied calmly. I look forward to seeing you both in the Chunin exams. In saying that Gaara and his siblings disappeared. Team 7 look at Naruto in shocked. Chunin exams entrance hall. Every Jounin and Chunin teacher stood in front of the Sandaime Hokage. As most of you know, by the side of many other shinobis in this village, the Chunin exams will begin soon. In 1 week to be correct. Everyone started to mutter. We will begin with the rookies teachers. Kakashi, you may go first. I nominate Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, and Uzumaki Naruto for the entrance of the Chunin exams. Kakashi replied lazily. Ayuuhi Kurenai, nominate Hyuga Hinata, Inuzuka Kiba and Aburam Shino for the entrance of the selected Chunin exams. And I Saratobi Asuma, nominate Akamichi Choji, Yamanaka Ino and Nara Shikamaru for the entrance of the selected Chunin exams. All 9 rookies are going to enter. The first time in 5 years. Enough, this decision will be passed down. The Sandaime shouted, getting order back to his Jounins. Okage-sama, I may be speaking out of place, but all 9 of those students that were students of mine at the academy. I know all of them have great skill, but this exam can destroy them. It's far too soon for these young shinobis to enter these exams. Some of them may never be the same again. Most of them won't even survive. Iruka, I know where you are coming from. But you must remember. What the Hokage-sama is saying, Iruka, these are no longer your students. They are my soldiers. This exam can destroy them and you know it. Iruka shouted. Well, they've been complaining about not getting any exciting missions lately. I think a little fear might boost their morale. I was only 6 years younger than Naruto when I became Chunin. Naruto is nothing like you. Iruka shouted. Kakashi, that's enough. Kurenai replied. You don't understand, Kurenai, Iruka needs to hear this. The attachment you once had for these kids is over. They are trained shinobis and must deal with it now. An. Sensatsu Susho 1000 Flying Water Needles of Death. Ninpu. Makyo Hyo Sho Ninja Art. Crystal Ice Mirrors. Hyuga Style. Kaiten Hyuga Style. Keishin. Akiri Lighting Blade. Mizukage Water Cage. Fury Mist. Haju Cage Bunshin no Jutsu Mass Shadow Clone Jutsu. Page Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu. Izu Bunshin no Jutsu Water Clone Jutsu. Waruk. Ana no Kodashi no Jutsu Sexy. Double Knockout Girls Jutsu. Chapter 5. The Chunin Exams. Naruto leaned on the bridge, ignoring his teammates' glares. They've been like that ever since Naruto's surprise entrance on the Suna team. After 2 hours of waiting, Kakashi appeared in a puff of smoke. Hey guys, sorry I'm late, but I saw a fish drowning in a pond and rushed to give it. You liar. Sakura screamed. Kakashi rubbed his head with a small chuckle. That was perhaps his lamest excuse yet. I have good news for the 3 of you. I know this might be early, but I've nominated all 3 of you for the upcoming Chunin exams. Sensei, are you sure we are ready? Do we really have enough experience for the Chunin exams? Sakura asks. No, you aren't ready, this will only help you 3 with your training. I don't expect any of you to be made Chunin, but I sure this experience will help you greatly. Kakashi replied in a cheerful tone. The 3 look at him in shock. Here are the forms. Remember, this is only your choice if you feel like you want to take it. See ya. Kakashi replied, disappearing in a puff of smoke. Naruto reached into his ninja pouch and felt the Triage Kunai. It was time to perfect this jutsu passed down from his father. Hirishin no Jutsu was going to be born once again. Other side of the village. A young girl with buns was throwing kunais at a training dummy when a green spandex kid ran up to them. Hey, did you hear, they are putting all 9 rookies into the Chunin exams. Probably some jounin trying to show off. That's not all, I hear one of the squads is from Hada Kakashi's team. Well, that's too bad for them. Because we are going to destroy them in the exams. Friday. Naruto greeted his other 2 teammates as they met at the entrance. He sensed Anbu in the shadows. Naruto smirked as he told the 3rd what was the fate of Konoha during the Chunin exams. Like Hinata, Kakashi and Kurenai, he too fell quickly towards Tsukiyomi. Naruto was glad Itachi was foolishness to perform seals for the technique. He quickly copied the seals and was able to perform them without hand seals. When the 3rd learned of this, he quickly saw Orochimaru's jutsu that would lead to his defeat and his death. He questioned Naruto furthermore, and Naruto admitted Orochimaru led a genius plan that was later carried out by Uchiha Sasuke, and it would destroy the leaf. Although Orochimaru never lived to see the day came when the leaf fell. The 3rd agreed to have heavy Anbu in the area of the Chunin exams. Naruto said an unidentified shinobi gave a huge tip-off of Orochimaru's location. The 3rd agreed, and now Anbu were hidden everywhere. DEAM-7 walk up the stairs to see the entrance to room 301, where they are to take the exam. One we really need to take these exams. A girl whined. Trying to get 2 genins to move out of the way. He responded by punching her in the jaw. At your level you want to take the Chunin exams. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Let us pass. Our Jounin sensei is back there waiting for us. A bowl-cut boy asked, wearing green spandex. The two got punch and a big bruise appeared. Go home. You're too weak to take the Chunin exams. Those two look like. Many of those who take the Chunin exams are wrecked for life and some never come out alive. Do us and all of you a favor. Leave now and take it when you become stronger. The other said. Sasuke walked forward ignoring the many gasp. Nice speech, now step aside so I can get to the examination room. Also while you're at it. Remove the Jinjutsu, to make this much harder, why don't you place a Jinjutsu on the third floor instead of the second? Sasuke replied. What's this guy talking about? We are on the third floor. Go ahead and tell them Sakura. You're the Jinjutsu specialist on our team. You had to see this coming a mile away. Sakura froze hearing Sasuke praise her. Of course, besides, we only traveled one flight of stairs. Meaning this is the second floor. Sakura replied as the Jinjutsu was removed. Not bad, now dodge this. One of the genin shouted throwing a kick to Sasuke. Sasuke seeing the kick responded back. The kid with the green spandex suddenly moved faster than either of them could follow and soon had both kicks in his hands. He stopped my kick. How that's impossible. Unless he has incredible chakra control. Both genins jump back away from the weird bowl cut kid. The bruise he had earlier. It's gone. Lee, what was it you said? To keep a low profile so we wouldn't attract attention. A wide-eyed boy replied. I know, I just wanted them to make sure who was better. The boy known as Lee replied. It doesn't matter, it's over and done with. The girl replied. I'm Rock Lee, I would be honored if you would be my girlfriend. Lee replied as he started to flirt with Sakura. Sakura jumped back in horror. Those eyebrows are horrible. Hey, you're a rookie aren't you? What's your name? The raven-haired boy demanded to Sasuke. If you want to know someone's name you should introduce yourself first. Sasuke replied back coldly. This caused the other boy to scowl at him. Team 7 walk away from the crowd. Uchiha Sasuke. You will be interesting. I look forward to seeing you in the exams. Niji lead his team away only to notice Lee wasn't following. What is it Lee? I'll catch up, I just want to do a quick recon mission. Lee replied running after Team 7. Training room. Wait. Lee's voice rang out. Team 7 looked back to see Rock Lee standing on the balcony. Sakura nearly jumped back realizing who it was. Lee blew Sakura a kiss which she ducks in fear. I'm Rock Lee, the strongest genin inside the Hidden Leaf Village. I challenge you Uchiha Sasuke. So you know who I am. Then you should know what you are in for. Fight me instead. Naruto shouted. No, I have only interest in the Uchiha. Naruto charged forward and Lee disappeared. Naruto dodged just in time and pretended to get hit and get unconscious. Sasuke and Sakura were shocked. They knew Naruto was tough deep down, but for him to get beat so easily was scaring them. He beat Naruto in mere seconds. He is good. Naruto should have beaten him. I can't let this slide. Also, it might give me a reason to practice it. He beat Naruto, but Naruto is strong. Even Sensei said Naruto is growing far too fast. Sasuke charged forward punch at the ready when Lee suddenly disappeared. Where did he? Sasuke suddenly found himself laying down next to Sakura. This often pride hurt Sasuke decided to him his secret. The Sharingan. Lee replied calmly. Sharingan. But when did he have it? It's in both of his eyes unlike Kakashi Sensei's. But he only has 2 komos. Ninjutsu or Jinjutsu. It doesn't matter, I will see through it. Sasuke charged forward and met Lee head on. Lee threw a kick. What an idiot. Sasuke-kun's Sharingan can easily see through it. To Sasuke's horror and to Sakura's shock, Sasuke got kicked straight up in the air. You seem to be confused Sasuke-kun. You were thinking I was using a Jinjutsu or Ninjutsu correct? Well for your eyes, following Jinjutsu or Ninjutsu requires hand seals. In my case however. You're using Taijutsu Sasuke replied in shock. That's correct, no Ninjutsu, no Jinjutsu. Just plain Taijutsu. The only difference is, if your eyes can follow then there is no point trying to block if your body can't keep up. Lee replied before he disappeared. Where did he? Bam, Sasuke was launched into the air and Lee appeared right behind him. Shadow Leaf Dance. Sasuke replied in shock. Let's see you dodge this. For the first time, a hard-working shinobi, such as myself, will defeat a gifted genius from the Uchiha clan. Lee replied unwrapping his bandages. Suddenly a kunai appeared and pierced Lee's bandages to the wall stopping the jutsu. Both Sasuke and Lee fell down. Sasuke looked at Lee in shock. Lee turned around to see a pink turtle standing there. Lee, you know that technique is forbidden. I'm calling Guy. Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke's horror appeared when a copycat man appeared on top of the turtle. Lee, 100 laps around Konoha on the double. Guy shouted. Hi, Guy-sensei. You guys know the exam is about to start right? Sakura asked in a small voice. Gosh, the flames of youth burn brightly every day Lee. Do it after the exam. Hi, Guy-sensei. Oh, so we meet again, youthful fighters. We are leaving. Naruto replied, trying to turn around only to see Guy standing right behind them. You are my eternal rivals, students. Remind him the next time you see him our score stands 51-50 and I seek to keep the lead. Guy replied only to see Team 7 running for their lives. I hate the Jounin and his weirdness. Naruto replied as they stopped gasping for breath. I agree, too creepy. Sakura replied. Let's just meet Kakashi and forget the whole situation. They all agreed and walked down the hall to see Kakashi standing in the doorway. I'm glad you all came. Now that you did, I can let you pass. What do you mean, sensei? Sakura asks. If I told you that all three of you had to come, Naruto and Sasuke would have forced you to come. By saying this was option, I wanted you all to think this was a chance. I'm proud of all you. They all nodded and walked past Kakashi into the exam room. The room was packed. Shinobis from all over the world seemed to be there. Oh, Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke. You guys made it too. Kiba's voice replied as he led his team towards them. Sasuke-kun, how have you been? Ino voice shouted. Before anyone could react, Ino threw herself on Sasuke. Get off Sasuke-kun, no Ino pig. Sakura roared. Ino stuck out her tongue at Sakura. This is so troublesome. A new voice replied, approaching the group. Shikamaru appeared with Choji by his side eating a bag of chips. They all started to talk to each other like they were in class. Man, this is just like old times. All the rookie nines here together again. Hey you guys, you might want to keep it down. You're getting a lot of attention. A silver-head shinobi replied, walking up to them. He had a Konoha Hinata on. Who are you? Sakura demanded rudely. I'm Yakushi Kabuto. And like I said, you might want to keep it down. You're getting everyone's attention. They all look around to see almost every genin was looking at them. Normally every 6 months each village would send its best to compete in the Chunin exams. So, is this your second time taking the exam, Kabuto-san? Sakura asks. No, it's my 7th. Kabuto replies, looking embarrassed. So you must be strong then. But he failed 6 times. So this Chunin exams is tougher than it looks. Man, this is troublesome. So Kabuto, care to give us some tips? Sakura asked in a pleading voice. Well, normally I wouldn't, but I guess I can help my cute little underclassmen. Kabuto reached into his pocket and pulled out some orange cards. These are my little ninja info cards. I've collected as much data as I could during the exams. They always change, so the same information doesn't always work. Anything or anyone you're interested in. Tsubuku no Gaara, Rock Lee, and Hyuga Niji. Sasuke replied, clearly wanting to get some answers about these genins. Okay, first Rock Lee, you know it's never fun if you know their names. Kabuto replied as Sasuke grew a frown. Okay, Rock Lee, mission history. D rank, 20, completed, C rank 12 completed. His sensei is Guy. His taijutsu has greatly improved in this year, the rest is nothing impressive. Last year he gained attention as a talented new genin, but he didn't participate in the Chunin exam. Like you guys, this is also his first time. On his team are Tenten and Hyuga Niji. Rock Lee may know Iron First, but he doesn't know the true art and form of Iron Fist. I know the true form. Lee's style relies on the gates and bone-crushing attacks. It also requires high speeds, but the true form disarms, stuns and in most cases, can kill an opponent with the lightest touch. Iron Fist and Gentle Fist are very similar, only their stances are different. Next, Tsubuku no Gaara. Mission history. C rank 8, B rank 1. Wow, a B rank mission is a genin. Since he's a newcomer from a foreign country I don't have much further info. But, it seems he returned from all his missions without even a scratch. B rank is a genin and not a scratch. What a troublesome person. Every 6 months, almost every hidden village sends their best genins to take place in the Chunin exams. Konoha normally receives shinobis from Suna, Waterfall, Aim, and Grass. For the first time, Odo be taking the exams as well. Odo? The new hidden village. So I don't know much about them, but then again, they are a small hidden village, so the genins aren't much. Naruto and a few other rookies saw 3 blurs moving between the other genins heading for them. A girl with long black hair appeared and threw some needles at Kabuto, which he dodges. Then a boy with heavy bandages threw a punch which Kabuto easily dodged. Kabuto smirked until everyone saw his glasses broke out of nowhere. I see, so it was that kind of an attack. Hold on, I saw the entire thing. You dodge it. Think about it, team. They are from the hidden village of the sound. I'm assuming sound ninjas attack with silent sounds. That punch was just a decode. Naruto replied. Sasuke looked frustrated as well as Sakura. If you two are going to be angry with me, I don't see why. That fact is I'm right. Naruto said as Kabuto held his stomach and gasping out blood. Everyone looked shocked to see him spitting out blood. What do you think is worse, a punch or an invisible attack? The one with a cocky smirk replied. It seems you know about our attacks. I did not expect Trash to be so smart. The heavy bandage replied. The girl was about to something when she was suddenly gasping for air. Kin, they shouted. Everyone looked shocked until they noticed ninja wire around her with exploding tags on her back. So, from what I understand, if a team loses a member they fail the exam. How bad do you want to pass the Chunin exams? Naruto replied with a deadly glare. Dosu looked worried. He didn't give a shit about Kin, but if those exploding tags went off, he would be killed as well as Zetsu. Luckily at that moment a huge explosion went off in the front of the room. Alright you maggots. Sit down and be quiet so we can start the Chunin exams. A man yelled in front of a bunch of Chuninins. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm Marino Ibiki. I'll be your proctor for the first exam. Hey, no fighting. Are you trying to make the leaf look bad? Ibiki shouted at Naruto. Naruto glared before he made a hand seal. The ninja wired fell and the exploding tags went down leaving Kin unharmed. She relaxes and starts to breathe. Her face was very blue to purple before Naruto released her. This is a good chance to explain a few good rules. First off, you are not allowed to fight anyone without the permission of an examiner. Even with permission, you're not allowed to kill your opponent. If you do, not only will you fail, but you will be sent to your families in pieces. Ibiki replied. This caused several shivers down many people's spines. Let's begin. Ibiki shouted as one of the Chunin started handing out numbers and papers. Ibiki explained more rules about cheating and how points can be earned and taken away. The test began. Naruto sat next to Hinata who looked happy. Naruto looked down and began to answer the questions. After 45 minutes and 1/4 of the room gone, Ibiki announced it was time for the final question. Before you answer the question, there is something I want to say. There will be a special rule for this question, and this rule is a hopeless rule. Many students started sweating. Down in lounge. It sure has become quiet now that our subordinates are gone, it sure is boring. Kakashi replied sitting in front of the other two rookie teachers. We'll get busy soon. Asuma replied smoking his cancer stick. Why? Kakashi asks curious to hear this. This year's first examiner is Marino Ibiki. Already their chances look bad. The first exam is going to be tough. They had to choose that sadist. Kakashi replied leaning back. Sadist? Kurenai replied curious to hear her comrade speak to the first examiner like that. Kurenai, you're still a rookie jounin, so it's no wonder if you don't know. Asuma replied. Kurenai bit her lip. So who is he? A pro. Kakashi replied. A pro at. Asuma took another hit off his cancer sticks before responding. Torture and interrogation. Nani? Although there will be no physical torturing in the exam, I'm sure the students are feeling some mental stress through his interrogation skills. He is Konoha Anbu's torture and interrogation squad leader. Exam room 301. Ibiki started laughing at Kiba who challenged Ibiki and his rules. You all were just unlucky. This year I'm the rule. However, if any of you decided to take it and fail, you won't only fail the test but are forbidden to take the Chunin exams ever again. Ibiki declared. Many gasped and started to look at each other. So, who wants to quit and who wants to stay? Ibiki asked no one in particular. After a few minutes of silence a genin next to Naruto raised his hand and quit. His teammates got up complete said. Many other genins started to raise their hands. Ibiki was smiling. Naruto suddenly sensed Sakura was going to raise her hand. No, not for herself, for me. She doesn't believe I can pass the 10th question. Stupid whore. Before Sakura hand could be seen Naruto raised his hand, stopping Hinata, Sasuke and Sakura in their tracks. Down in lounge. Ibiki understands human psychology. And the scariest part about him is that he can drive a person to a corner mentally, control his mind, and bully him. He can find a person's weakness and bring it to the surface. Asuma replied as Kurenai eyes open in shock. Exam room 301. Nearly everyone's eyes were on Naruto. No one could see his eyes because they were in the shadow of his Hinata. Don't ask me how, then his hand slams on the desk shocking many genins. Screw you. I'm not going to run away. I'll take this problem. Even if I become a genin forever, I'm going to become a Hokage no matter what anyway. Naruto stands up. I'm not scared. So give us the question already. He shouted. Naruto smirked inside. That was the same thing he said in his last life. Ibiki's face was expressionless, but he was shocked inside. He wasn't even thinking about us, he has quite a spirit. Sasuke thought happily. Yes, way to go you idiot. Sakura thought. I will ask one more time. This is the choice that will impact your life. If you want to quit, now is the chance. Ibiki asked the stupid blonde shinobi. I'm not going to take back my words. That's my way of the ninja. Everyone was smiling at Naruto and his bold words. Interesting kid. He wiped out everyone's uncertainty. 78 students, there's more left than I expected. Looks like there's no point in waiting any longer. All the Chunin instructors gave him a nod. Nice determination. Then, for the first exam, everyone here passes. Everyone looked shocked. Wait, what's the meaning of that? We pass already? What about the 10th question? Sakura yelled. Ibiki laughed and smiled that looked painful. There was no such thing to begin with. Or you can call the two-choice question the 10th question. Ibiki replied in a cheerful tone. What? So what were those previous 9 problems? It was all a waste. Tamari shouted. No, it's not. The 9 problems accomplished their purpose. The purpose to test each individual's information gathering skills. Information gathering skills. Tamari repeated. First, this test's purpose lies in the first rule. Your pass-fail decision is based on your 3-person teams. By giving that idea, we have given you an unprecedented amount of pressure to try and not be a nuisance to your team. But these test problems cannot be solved by you Genins. So, most of the people here must have come to the conclusion I have to cheat to get points. In other words, this exam assumed that everyone was going to cheat. So, we snuck in 2 Chuninins who knew the answer to be targets of cheating. The information that an enemy gets after being noticed by a third person will not necessarily be accurate. Remember this. Getting incorrect information can cause great damage to your teammates and village. So we made you all gather information in the form of cheating. We kicked out those who were lacking in that field. That's what went on. Ibiki replied in a calm voice, removing his bandana. The scars on his head scared nearly all the Genins. Information is greatly important. And it determines a fail or success of a mission. But I still can't agree to that last question, Tamari replied in a soft voice. But this 10th question was the main question of this first exam. Ibiki replied. What do you mean? Sakura asked. Let me explain. The 10th question was a take or not take choice. Needless to say, it was a painful 2-choice problem. Those who did not take it failed with their teams. If you chose to take it and could no answer it, your right to take the exam would have been taken away forever. It was a very insincere problem. How about this 2-choice problem? Let's assume that you have become a Chunin. Your mission is to capture a secret document. The number of enemy ninja, their abilities and armaments are unknown. And there may be traps that the enemy ninja have set up. Now will you accept this mission or not? Just because your life and the lives of your teammates may be in danger, are you able to avoid dangerous missions? The answer is no. There are missions that carry heavy risks but cannot be avoided. The ability to show your courage to your teammates when needed and the ability to get through a bad situation, that is what we look for in a Chunin, a squad leader. Those who cannot bet their fate in a critical situation, those who give up when given the chance because there is a next year and let their mind sway over uncertain future, fools who only carry a light determination like that have no right to become a Chunin. That is what I believe. I am saying that you here who have chosen to take it gave the right answer for the difficult 10th question. You can deal with the difficulties you will face. You have broken through the entrance. The first exam of the Chunin selection ends now. I wish you luck. Ibiki turned to Naruto, who was smiling. What an interesting guy. Ibiki then turned his attention to the window. The window crashed as a giant black ball came into the room. The ball opened and a person threw 2 kunais to the ceiling. But the Sakura shouted. Geez, she's Ibiki thought. Everyone, there's no time to be happy. I'm the second examiner, Mitarashi Anko. The woman shouted in a huge trench coat. Let's take the next exam. Follow me. She shouted. Everyone looked shocked to see an overexcited female. Ibiki stepped from behind the banner. Grasped the atmosphere. Anko looked down and upset at Ibiki. That examiner is like Naruto. Sakura thought. 78. Ibiki, you let 26 teams pass. The first exam must have been too soft. Anko claimed, looking at him in disgust. It looks like there are a lot of excellent students this time. Oh, well, I'm going to make more than half of the teams fail in the next exam. Sakura gasped in shock. Fail more than half. I'm getting excited. I will explain the details tomorrow. We will go somewhere else, so ask Yu-Jian and senseis about the rally point and time. That is all. Dismissed. Later that evening. Ibiki was collected the papers when he stopped at Naruto. There wasn't a single answer on his. Instead there was a note. Ibiki-san. I know this might not seem like much, or you might have reasons to doubt me, but I want you to keep 6 squads of Anbu trailing that Kabuto person. I don't know what it is, but something doesn't seem to add up. He is very powerful and truly skilled. Not only that, he has high-class information, even about the third's law about me. Something isn't adding up, and I feel this is just the calm before the storm. As for my request, Kabuto's strength is strong enough to be a jounin. I think he might even give Kakashi a hard time. While I was listening to him about the info he had, I felt he was holding back a lot of power just to be weak. Not only that, he is intelligent and strong with years of experience. Shouldn't he be a Chunin? Or even a Jounin? It's also a possibility that he is working for someone else on their orders. Just want to share you this information. He passes with a blank paper. Uzumaki Naruto, eh? He really is an interesting guy. I'll take his advice. Training Ground 7. Okay, Naruto, you got any ideas? Kakashi asked the blonde shinobi. Kakashi-sensei, shouldn't we let Sasuke lead? Sakura asked. True, Sasuke can lead, but I want to hear what Naruto has to say. Naruto sat down and an idea came to him. Sasuke, henge into me. Naruto replied as he did a perfect henge into Sasuke. Why dope? Listen dope, just do it. Naruto Sasuke replied. I see. Kakashi replied. Kakashi-sensei. Sasuke do it. Sasuke did. Sasuke, remember what Ibiki said. How information is important. Well, let's change the game a little bit. Give the other team false information about ourselves. I see, not a bad idea. So what do you got in mind? You act like yourself while the henge into me and I'll act like myself while I'm you. That way, other teams will get false information about us. I see, when they engage us, they will think you are dangerous and I'm not. Sasuke replied. Did Naruto really think of that? That's an ingenious plan. Sakura thought looking at her blonde raven-head teammate. Okay then, how are we going to show up together, but not from the opposite place where we live? Simple, we all sleep at the Uchiha compound tonight. What? Sasuke Naruto shouted. Think about it, people might believe we are preparing and trying coming up with a strategy. We can also do that, we must pack a lot of ninja weapons and gear. I fear the second exam is going to be a lot tougher. The three nodded. Sakura, just act like you normally do. Just don't hit Sasuke too hard. Naruto replied as the three of them disappeared. Next morning. Area 44, 10 AM. Welcome to Area 44. Or as we like to call it, the Forest of Death. Anko replied with a nasty grin. I always hated when she did this. This seems to be easy if it's just a forest. Naruto Sasuke replied with a nod. Sakura remember what she was supposed to do not enjoy. You're a cute kid. Anko replied with a smile. Before anyone could react, she threw a kunai at him. Naruto felt his skin get cut and the presence of Anko behind him, with a new kunai holding it at his neck. Kids like you are normally the first ones to die. She replied, scaring everyone as she licks his blood. The grass nin with a long tongue appeared holding Anko's drop kunai. Anko reacted immediately. Here's your kunai, miss. Thank you, however, the next time, if you don't want to die, then don't sneak up on me like that again. Sorry I got excited. Beside you cut my hair with your kunai. Alright, here are some papers you all need to sign. Anko shouted after everyone took 3 major steps back from Anko. Clearly thinking she was insane. Paperwork. Dust clearances of asking of your death before you go in. Believe me, you will die in this exam. Also I hate paperwork, especially if it's my reasonability. So sign up. The sooner you sign the sooner you can start the next exam. Anko shouted. Every soon started to sign the papers while others started greeting each other. Naruto and Ibiki were right. Information is very valuable. When they were all done and each team got a scroll, Anko told them they had a 5-day time limit. Anko looking at her watch waited for the hand to click on the noon button. Alright, let the second exam begin. She shouted as all the gates open. All the teams rush in. Naruto and Sasuke quickly remove their henge. Alright, listen up, we need come up with a password or a hand sign for us to know it's each other. How about this, when you hold your kunai have the ring on your index finger and hold it in a guard position. The password is Kaiten. Ryuenden. Naruto told Sasuke and Sakura before they entered the forest. Why? Sakura asked. Because we are going to encounter teams who will do anything they can to get our scroll. Also if we ever get separated we need a password to know it's us. Naruto snapped. Sakura thought about it and realized he was right. If they ever got separated they need a password. They ran into the forest. They were walking around when they heard a scream. Elsewhere. Those are Konoha's jumping leeches. After 5 minutes of blood sucking, it's all over for you three. Kiba replied looking at the rain nins who fell into their trap. They drop a scroll which revealed a heaven scroll. Alright, we got the heaven scroll. We are no doubt going to finish first. Kiba shouted. I hate it when he does this. Shino replied in a bored tone. Back to Team 7. Already, there are people fighting. Sakura gasped. This forest has one purpose. Naruto replied. To get to the tower with both scrolls. Sasuke agreed. Where to next? Naruto replied as they continue walking. We should head to the tower and set up traps. That is everyone's goal. Sasuke replied. Then a gust of wind blew in their direction, each one was blown away from each other. Orochimaru. Naruto landed on his feet only to see a giant snake behind him. As the snake moved in for the kill, Naruto formed chakra in his hands. Rasengan. Naruto shouted, slamming the bowl into the snake's mouth. The snake was blasted away. The Rainin eyes opened wide, seeing the boy who he was going to target destroy the snake without much of a sweat. Naruto threw a kunai, nearly hitting his head. "You might as well leave, Rainin. You're alone and outmatched," Naruto replied without looking at him. The Rainin knew he was speaking the truth. He knew on one-on-one combat he stood no chance, especially against the jutsu. He fled the area before Naruto decided to kill him. Naruto looked around the area and ran towards his team. He ran towards them, sensing Orochimaru near them. But Sasuke and Sakura hold their kunais with a ring on their index finger. "Pain." Ryu and they both said and nodded. Orochimaru, who was watching, smirked, thinking he had it down. Quickly hinging into their blonde teammate, he approaches them. "Hey guys." Naruto replied. "Something is wrong." Orochimaru pulled out a kunai and holds it. "Kaiten." Ryu and Sakura and Sasuke were shocked to hear him say it, but whoever this guy was, he was good at getting information. Sakura threw her kunai, which Naruto dodged, and Sasuke threw a few shurikens which hit Naruto in the leg, forcing the hinge to dispel. There stood the grass nin with a long tongue. "How did you two know?" the grass nin asks. "Naruto never says hi to us. He normally is quiet and only speaks when our sensei talks to him or when he has something to say to us. Also, you were holding your kunai wrong," Sasuke replied. That's strange. I thought you guys would at least acknowledge each other. It looks like my information is wrong. Oh well, playing with you two should be fun." Naruto arrived 5 minutes later to see Sakura and Sasuke paralyzed with fear. The grass nin was approaching them with a sly smile. Naruto, seeing the jutsu, immediately threw 2 kunais at them. The kunais scratched them, cancelling the jutsu immediately. Naruto jumped down and attacked Orochimaru. Orochimaru, thinking this boy didn't know much to jutsu, simply dodged the punch. What he didn't expect was a powerful kick to the gut that caused him to crash and burn. Heading up, Naruto already was on him. Orochimaru blocked the kicks to feel powerful stings inside his arm. How is he doing this? Naruto dodged Orochimaru's punch and tried to sweep him. Orochimaru dodged and soon found Naruto in his face. Orochimaru thought he saw Naruto's eyes change red with slits. "I see. No wonder he can match my current strength. The Kyuubi brat." Orochimaru's tongue wrapped itself around Naruto. His fingers soon started to glow blue. He grew a smirk and lifted his shirt. He then launches his jutsu at Naruto. Naruto also smirked and his hand soon started glowing purple. His hand met Orochimaru's hand. A loud explosion heard. When the gust cleared, Naruto was nowhere to be seen. The grass nin, Orochimaru, looked really hurt and mess up. Whatever Naruto did piss him off. "Enough games." He spat. "You two are really brothers. I see the same power in your eyes, just like Satochi's. You will seek me out. For power," Orochimaru declared. His neck expanded and bit Sasuke on the neck. "Come to me, Sasuke-kun, come to me for power," Orochimaru whispered as he sank into the ground. Sasuke collapses. Sakura grabbed him, unable to believe her teammates were defeated so easily. She jumped down holding Sasuke. When she got down, she saw Naruto and an unknown man next to, both unconscious. What if Naruto becomes the second Yellow Flash? Sasuke bashing, and thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video and see you guys in the next video.